Welcome, Internet, to the Place of Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Delvin and Dev, and I'm joined, as always, by Donnie, Eat the Hype Reese, and Delvin, Little John today, Cox. How are we doing this evening, gentlemen?
Good. Take a nap, so I'm doing good, man.
Oh, look
He's
at you.
doing real nice. Doing pretty good.
Getting that old man nap in. That's real nice.
Yeah,
real nice.
That 45-year-old, 50-year-old nap. Close to retirement nap. 1 foot in the grave nap, baby.
Oh, good stuff. Well, gentlemen, we have a really long show today, so let's skip the pleasantries and just jump right into it. So we're going to start off with the thing that people apparently want to hear about the most. Stray. It's a little game that came out for PlayStation and PC last week, and we've got 3 questions straight off the bat, so let's just jump right into it. Kyle wants to know, how would you rate Stray so far? Ray wants to say, give me them Stray thoughts, love that it's free with Plus. And A Fury of Thoughts also says, give me them Stray thoughts, love that it's free with Plus. So, guys, tell me about Stray, because I ain't play that shit.
I think I copy and pasted one too many times.
Oh, well,
so apologies to one of them. I played and finished Stray. How about you guys?
I don't think I'm nowhere near finishing. I'm probably like a quarter of the way through, probably.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I gotta be honest. I don't think I'm feeling it. I'm gonna finish it because it's not that long, but it's a struggle getting through.
I think expectations got the better of me because I had saw on release day that people were beating it in like a couple hours. I was like, oh, it's like a real quick little indie game. And I felt like I was playing the game for way longer than that. like I was definitely playing it. It was
like,
yeah, that's what I tweeted. Was it Sunday? I tweeted, I was like, this feels like the longest short game I've ever played.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those games you're playing, and once you know like the magic behind it, it's like, okay, this is fine. It's not a bad game at all. I wouldn't call it a bad game. I wouldn't call it terrible or nothing like that. It's just mid. Like it's a game. I'm glad it's on PlayStation Plus for free. I think that helps soften the blow. Like it doesn't wow me, it doesn't amaze me. It's cool elements of it. You know, you're playing as a cat. I think the story is interesting enough to trek through it. But overall, it's like kind of like, all right, you go talk to these robots, you find this out, you go do this. Almost like fetch questions. And so far when I play, I'm like, this I could do without this. Like it's not compelling me to want to finish the game. Maybe it does later as you get further into the city and stuff like that, and you do other things and find the full story of it. But so far, it's not really grabbing me. I found myself interested in like reading like the stories they have on the walls and translating like what's happening to find out what's happening to the humans and everything like that. I found that part interesting, but
it is.
I don't know if it's enough to put me through the rest of the game. Honestly,
I struggled with this one because just at times I was just so easily distracted. Like if I'd look at my phone, I would just end up looking at my phone for like an hour because I really didn't want. Like I
what you're saying is you were the cat and everything else was that little red dot you had to chase, huh?
That's not what I'm saying at all, but sure.
You didn't say that in the least bit.
Yeah, I like the game. I think I agree with Delvin's sentiments mostly. I mean, if I was to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 6, maybe like a 6.5. The downside,
the same thing I would give it.
The thing about it though is I kind of want to bump it up a little bit more because visually it's pretty stellar.
It is,
especially for an indie game, and I don't think it's all that fair of me to knock so many other developers for visuals and performance, and then not also boost those that go above and beyond. And with Stray, I do think they got quite a bit right. I do think I love the visual style of the game is very cool. It definitely does that kind of almost punky kind of crime ridden kind of Gotham type thing very well. I like that about it. I also didn't really have any performance issues. I've been reading on tweets and stuff that people, suffering from stuttering issues and things like that. And I know the developers
I
have
had none of
addressed
that.
it. I didn't have any of that either. And I
That's a
think
PC thing. So
I
Delvin, you
got you.
wouldn't have had any of that.
Um,
Okay.
I also understand that, like, we give a lot of credit when games kind of like nail the mechanic. And like Spider-Man, right? That was a big thing with Spider-Man. They're like, oh, they nailed the swinging. Like they definitely nailed the movement as well as the camera positioning for a game where you play as a cat. Like the
They
world
did.
feels big and tall to you, and everything you kind of have to look up at. And I think they did a pretty good job of that. And like the slinking nature of a cat, like their light-footedness, and just especially at different speeds, like the running and just kind of like the stalking and all their like mannerisms, I think are nailed perfectly here. So in that regards, I'll bump it up to a 7. I'll give it a solid 7. I think it's one of the better indie games that I've played this year. But I haven't played a lot of like the buzzing indie games like Neon White and stuff like that. But for me, it's one of the better indie games that I've played so far, at least notable ones. We'll get to another one in a minute. But I liked it. I liked the story a lot. I thought the story, I wish there was more of it to like kind of lead you on. Because the whole game is just a gigantic fetch quest. You're just going from point to point to point to point. Go find this object to go get this object to go get this object to take to the person to get the other object to go to the next place and do it all over again. And I think that's kind of like the monotony of the game is where once you get into that, because there's a lot of like figuring it out too, like figuring out the puzzles and stuff and how to do it. Kind of like the old school like Zelda stuff, but like from like 64 and Wind Waker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that there's not a whole lot of action, and there you do get some action, like you do get some defensive stuff, but the game takes it back away from you. I don't know if people think that's a spoiler or not. If you do, I'm sorry, but if not, I mean, like you don't get to do it a lot is the point I'm trying to make. It's not like it's not really a part of the game. It's like a part of a chapter of the game. My biggest fault with it in terms of just not being that engaging in those sections and the story really being kind of at the front of the game and at the back of the game. I could have used a little bit more throughout the game. I wish it was actually a platformer, I think.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's not
I can see it.
a platformer. Like you platform, you jump, but I don't think you can be a platformer if you can't fall. And like in this game, you can't fall. Like you basically you have a reticle that like highlights anywhere you can jump to, and if you attempt to jump to it, you will, no matter how big or small.
Always lands on his feet. That's why.
And I'm fine with always landing on your feet, but that doesn't mean you always land where you want to land. Like cats are not perfect. I think it would have been
funny when a cat actually falls. That's some funny stuff.
I think it would have been nice, or would have been a more like captivating from a gameplay stance if the platforming was actually somewhat skill based. I'm not asking for like the world's hardest platform or anything, but just make you feel in control of it as opposed to just tapping along. Because at that point, why even tap? Like at that point, you're just like auto climbing and you're auto running. Like just I point the cat in a direction and just make it go. Like why are we even stopping for taps? If I can't fall, what's the point? So
I would say this. I found myself wishing, and this might be something asking a little bit too much, that you can customize your cat. Thought that'd been a little cool thing to add to a cool element. Like you didn't necessarily.
People are doing that.
Cat.
People are doing that on PC.
For sure.
So I think you're right to call out that there seems to be some demand for that. Personally, I wouldn't have changed the cat at all. So
yeah, the developer addressed that they had a certain cat in mind when they were making this game, so it is kind of like an homage to that particular cat, which is why there's no cat customization. Yeah,
that makes sense. I think they could have added a little more elements to it. Would have made a little bit more replayability value to me. I think probably
for a 5-hour game, man, it felt like a 10-hour game. Like it felt twice as long. There were points where I thought about just packing it up. I 100% understand why people would. There were parts where I don't want to say bored, but like was teetering on just bored. Like was tired of doing that same similar loop. But then the ending, I think, made up for it in a lot of ways. Like the ending left me with a better impression than, and it's really like, again, it is a really, really pretty game. And yeah, I got it through Haley Pass. What is it? $20?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I didn't even look.
I didn't look either.
I didn't even look.
I don't think
Once
20
I saw
is,
it was free, I'm like, all right.
I thought it was 20. I
20
don't
is a
think
good
20 is
price.
too bad for that. I think 20 is a decent price for that. I mean,
That's a
compared
really
to
good
like
price.
a lot of indie games, I mean, it visually like lands like way better than, you know, an indie game would. So
Yeah, I agree.
And to correct a Fury of Thoughts question, he said, ooh, since Stray is so entertaining, apparently it's not, would a dog game in the same sense work just the same?
probably, I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, you can't
Get
jump
fight
around. You can't jump around railings and stuff, but I mean, you could alter the environment to be dog friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a certain charm to a cat doing certain things. Like there's certain elements in the game that you can do. I think that's
Are
funny.
you
and interesting.
saying
Like
dogs
cats-
aren't charming? Because that
Not
shit'll
like
get
cats.
you canceled
There's
faster than
there's
your
a
women
different type
takes.
of charm. There's a different type of charm to a cat than there is a dog. Like cats, like for example, in Stray, you can scratch certain posts and walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you can
think-
go.
I
So
lay
think
dog,
down
you
and go
just pee on them instead. You just
You
pee
can
on
do
everything.
tons of dog-like
That's not
things
charming.
just like that.
That's
No, you
charming.
could catch frisbees. You could do lots of dog-like things. I could see a Stray type game where you are like solving crimes as a dog. 100%, I could see something like that.
McGruff the crime dog.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
solving crimes. Yeah, like I feel like a dog would totally.
Like if you were
change the feel of the
investigating
game.
clues and puzzling, you know, a situation together and obtaining something and taking it back to, you know, the police station or your owner, or if you were trying to, you know, like if you just put that dog spin on it, then it totally works.
So you
You're
want an
making a-
Inspector
you're ma-
Gadget
you're
game
making a
where
better
you're
game.
only playing as Brian.
No. I was taking a dog. I was taking the Stray design and then adapting it to what it could be if you were a dog.
Like I said, and
I don't care.
What essentially you made a better game. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds far more interesting than.
I
What we
actually
got.
really dug the robot world and the story behind it. I wish it was, and I think
Yeah.
that might be my biggest issue is I wish there was a lot more there. It's kind of vague. Not in just the general like sense of it. It's just kind of minimal. But it does give me like near vibes. I know people see everything post-apocalyptic now is The Last of Us. As if post-apocalyptic never
Well,
existed
no, I didn't get
before
Last of Us at all.
A
I
lot
got
of people,
more-
I'm seeing a lot of that on Twitter. It reminds me, and I get
I
it.
got more-
They're not wrong, right? It's overgrown greenery on abandoned cityscape. Like that is in the video game world, I guess. The Last of Us has cornered that market, but we've had a lot of games that did that.
I got more Blade Runner in the slums type vibe. Like you're in
Sure.
the slums of Blade Runner, not
Yeah,
like the
that's
bright
true.
cities of Blade Runner and stuff like that. The slums and the projects.
And I don't even.
And I like the robot world is just so fascinating to me because it's
That's what reminded me of Nier Automata. Like I just get
Yeah.
a lot of that kind of like there are these droids and drones around and they're doing things and like you're in this world. You can talk to them, meet them, and then as it starts to play out, I was like, yeah, this is kind of giving me more of that kind of vibe than the other
Yeah,
games.
and the human qualities they display
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that I don't want to spoil nothing anything major, but they're mimicking what they think they should be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's all
That's
there's
enough for this
reasons.
guy.
There's reasons for all of that to happen by the time you get to the end and stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough about the cat game. What else have you guys been playing? Let's start with you, Donnie.
I also finished As Dusk Falls, which I enjoyed immensely. If Stray was 7, I would give As Dusk Falls maybe an 8.5. I think it absolutely
played the wrong
destroys
game.
the quarry. I think it completely obliterates the quarry. It's so much better at being the quarry than the quarry. For a couple simple reasons. And I know we have a long show, so I want to go. I don't even have notes, so I don't even know if I can go long, but The story is riveting and it's captivating. And here's the thing that I love most about this game is I think some, rightfully so, I'm not even saying this is wrong. I'm just pointing it out so I can be the foil to the opinion. I think some will probably say there's not enough gameplay. I would both disagree with that, but also I would say that I think it's an improvement. There are none of these weird, meandering, walking around moments that we have in these Dark Pictures games where you have like this character who slowly walks and kind of robotically walks around an environment and looks at objects. Like none of that is in the game at all. Completely stripped away from it. And what you were left with is a more of a visual novel. And the difference in the gameplay is that there are a lot more decisions to make. They throw them at you much more frequently, much more quickly, and you have to react to them faster. And I actually enjoyed at kind of how they throw curveballs at you. It's not hard by any means, so don't get this impression. But the actions, especially decisions that have real ramifications, the quick time events, they change it up on you kind of a lot. They'll have one where you need to hold the button, where you need to tap the button, where you need to swipe left, swipe right, do circles. Like they really throw it at you in a bunch of different stuff, and it really feels like a quick time event. So it's not that it's hard to do by any means. I felt like I had time to do it, although I think the decision-making time is cut short compared to a Telltale game or a Dark Pictures supermassive game. You have to make decisions quickly. At least the ones that have timers on them, like the quick time events, like you've got to react. So I felt like it was testing my focus. It was, hey, are you paying attention to what we're doing? Like, did you hit this button? Like, are you paying attention, or are you like just not really, you zoned out and therefore you missed the prompt? Because you don't have a whole lot of time. It's not like it's here's 30 seconds to figure it out. Like it's like press the button. Oh, you didn't? Oh well, guess that sucked. Moving on. But from a story, and like the characters were just way more. There's way more complexity. Delvin, you and I discussed when we were talking about our last show about the Quarry, is how I didn't really appreciate how I was trying to make decisions that weren't like, it felt like they weren't acknowledged by the game and the design. Oh my God, As Dusk Falls is the complete opposite of that. Your decisions are overwhelmingly acknowledged and they all have weight and ramifications. And this game can go in a myriad of directions and they show it to you. Like they show you the path and all the choices. Like even on one chapter, I think there was like 70 choices that I had to make, and it could have drastically changed. And after I beat the game, I looked at a couple endings. There are entire halves of the cast that are dead or left or went somewhere else that I didn't get. So like the replay, like the main character could have just not been there at the end. So in that regards, impressive. I think what they set out to do, I think they've done extremely well, better than most of the games that are in that. And I think some people might say like the lack of controlling a character and having that sort of video gameplay is a negative. Having played this game, having just come off of the Quarry so recently, I think it's a positive, because as I was playing this game, I was like, man, this is so much better than those moments in the Quarry where you like walk around and wait for the camera to shift and walk up next to a character to start a cutscene. It's like, just take me to the damn cutscene. Like, let's move this along. You know,
I like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't a short game by any means either. You know, I played it for a couple of days. I don't remember how much time I played it, but I mean, it took me a couple of days. I played it over a couple of sessions. It didn't. I'm sure I played it longer than I played Stray, and it didn't feel half as long because it's riveting. I was captivated. I was into the story, and when you're into the story, time flies. Like if you're into what you're doing, time passes. If you're not really into what you're doing, you look at Twitter on your phone and you realize that your controller's disconnected and Stray's been on a loading screen for 45 minutes because you don't really want to keep playing it. You know, like I never felt that way with As Dusk Falls. So, I always try to refrain from giving awards away before the end of the year, but I will tell you this: leading contender for Game Pass Game of the Year so far for me. This is like the perfect kind of. That's my category. Game Pass Game of the Year. Always has been. We've been giving that category away for years. And right now, this is solidly in my Game Pass Game of the Year category. because it's the perfect type of game for Game Pass. Like, I don't know if I would have bought this game, although you guys know I've been interested in this game ever since it was shown, like a year or two ago. I've been long interested in this game, and for an indie dev from a new indie studio, they nailed it. And the visual style is that's I think what first caught my eye, as I've always been into that style. Some people aren't, and if you're not, I get it. Like, I guess if you're just not into it, it's probably not going to land for you. But it's not completely
It's like a graphic novel.
Yeah, but it's not like completely motioned. Like, the characters don't motion, but they do, like, it's like stop animation, like comics. Like when you see a comic play out, like on screen, how it like kind of shifts from scene to scene to scene. It's a little bit more movement than that. Like, characters do move and they change hand positions or facial expressions and stuff while in a scene. So it's not like one scene to the next scene. Like, you'll see multiple iterations of the same scene. But it's good. Like, I thought the game looked beautiful. I didn't have any problems with the way that it ran. I did have problems on PC, but I continue to have problems with Game Pass on PC. I just blame Game Pass.
Yep, it's trash.
Yeah. So like when I installed it, the game only played at like 480, and I went to go change the resolution. I could only change it to 720, and it was like, "Do you want to download the HD pack?" And I was like, "Yes, no shit. Like, of course I do." And it was like, "Here's 40 gig install." Why didn't you just do this when I clicked install the first time?
Xbox, we're begging you, get rid of that stupid launcher and put all your stuff on Steam. Just
Put it on
make
Steam.
Game Pass in Steam, please.
Put it on
For the love
Steam.
of God. Jesus.
Like, yeah, you're not helping me at all. Just put it on Steam at this point. But outside of that, yeah, I didn't have any problems, and I very much enjoyed my playthrough. Highly recommend. I also played more Hot Wheels, and then I will tell you this: we're not gonna go off these crazy tangents and start talking about this past weekend, man. I watched the F1 race. I have been jonesing all things cars all week long. I'm watching car movies. I'm watching car YouTube. It's all I want to do right now is cars. And it makes me really sad that my Ventura is just scattered across the garage across town like a damn chop shop. So I pulled out the wheel right there, and I did install F1, another game that's not great to like set up on EA Play's app either. EA Play, put your shit on Steam.
Also trash.
Game Pass. Yeah. But once I got it all set up and configured, I started playing F1 2022. I don't have any deep thoughts. I mean, the game looks beautiful, 4K, super performance, it's great. Has all the tracks, has all the racers. It is, I mean, I think playing closer to the monitor, because I sit so close to my monitor versus how far I sit the TV, I think made a big difference. It feels more claustrophobic. Yeah. And boy, some of those tracks, man. Like Jeddah is no joke. You come off that corner at 170 miles an hour, and you've just got inches to clear that wall. Like, when I watch Jeddah in real life, I love it because it's on edge, but to be fair, it's unsafe. Like, it's too on edge. It's not safe at all. When you play it in a game. Jeddah is a new F1 track that they built in Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people don't like it because it was built by an engineer basically to be the fastest street circuit ever. It's extremely narrow. There are walls on both sides. And you can pass, and there's a long straight, and there's this ridiculous turn right before the finish where the cars basically have to slow all the way down, speed all the way back up. But coming off this one turn, I don't remember which turn it is. Coming off this one turn, man, like last year in a qualifying lap, Max, he's in it, and he totally hit the wall, and he's the best driver in the world. And he just came off that corner and hit the wall. And having played it like with the setup and the wheel, feeling the force, feeling the speed, and I came off that corner today, and I was like, I get it. I'd hit that wall every time. 10 out of 10 times I hit that wall. Like, it's just really, really hard. So I'm enjoying that. That's basically all I have to say about it now. I'll save any actual review thoughts until I've played it a little bit longer.
Awesome. Delvin, what have you played? Because I haven't played shit, so I got nothing to add to this segment.
Let me make it short but sweet because I know we got a lot to get to. But I went to a pawn shop last week.
Nice.
Of course you did.
And I got a 3DS.
Nice.
I got
$280, like your guy said.
No, I found it for $100.
That's
$100 for it. I got they had Smash Brothers in there for $10.
Nice.
And they had
Smash Bros on 3DS is like low key kind of amazing. Like to get the roster and all of the content and all the maps and everything they did on the 3DS running as well as it does.
Impressive.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch my kids play it all the time. So I said, I'll get it. And I also got, which was weird and interesting, they had one of those cartridges that had like the 501 games on it.
Mm-hmm. It's a DS hack.
Yes, that's all it is. It's like it's a cartridge that has like a micro SD card in it.
Yep.
It has 500 DS games on it, like a whole bunch of DS games on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I got that. I'm enjoying it. This is my first time owning the 3DS, by the way.
I use the same method for my modded 3DS. Has the same thing, has a cartridge with SD card, all the games on it. But they're not DS games. They're like all the 3DS games.
We got a question about that too later on because somebody literally messaged me about that because of what we said on the episode.
Dude, I got 6 of those messages. And all of them, I think, and maybe I'm missing one, and I'm sorry if I apologize if I am. All of them were from people that I don't follow or I don't think follow me. It was nice to know that there are like people hearing, there are people listening, you know, even if they're not tied into our community. I always like being reminded that like we reach beyond our Discord. But yeah, like people out of the woodwork, Blue, they're like, hey, I heard on the show this week, you're like, can you point me in the direction of that? You know, I was like, wow.
And the person messaged me about it. I'm like, I don't know how to do it, but I'll mention it to Donnie on the podcast so he can bring it up how to do what he can tell you.
You can do it. It's not very hard. But if you don't want to do it, because I don't want to do it either, I sympathize with you. Dude, just send it to Garrett and buy him a game and let Garrett do it. He'll do it.
There you go.
He'll gladly do it. Like he did my entire Vita, and I'm not going to say what I paid him because maybe he wants to charge you more. I don't know. Maybe he wants to charge you less. I don't know. Maybe he's never thought about charging. But yeah, just
you hear that,
Garrett,
Tyler Coop? Talk to Delvin. Get Garrett's info. Send him your 3DS. Yeah. Problem solved.
There you go.
Little Garrett playing modding service.
There you go. But I'm enjoying the 3DS. I bought
great system.
So far, I bought I bought Transformers Prime because I'm a big Transformers fan.
Yeah, that's.
I bought Regular Show, and I'm playing that. Regular Show was made by WayForward, which I didn't realize until I got it. So it plays like a WayForward game. So I'm like, this is pretty cool. And I think I ordered Gravity Falls.
What?
But I'm excited because these are all the games I kind of want to play, and I know I've already seen the Marios and stuff like that. I'm going to get those in due time, and Pokemons and Yokai Watches and all that stuff I can get for my kids and stuff like that to play.
Nintendo Life gave Regular Show a 3 out of 10.
I'm enjoying it,
but
all it is just the
so
Mario.
He loves it. It's Delvin.
I love the TV show.
He loves it all.
Sure.
No,
hey,
Regular Show is my favorite.
I'm not
TV
hating.
show.
It's just you were like, I got this 3DS. I can't wait to play it, and then you rattled off a bunch of games that I never played.
Gravity Falls and
10 years of him having the thing. He's like,
I love Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is one of the best.
I think I heard that Gravity Falls game though was pretty good. I remember it making the rounds. It's like Wii U and Switch and PC and stuff like that. So
yeah, I heard it's pretty decent. So I want to try it.
That one doesn't surprise me, but the other ones definitely do.
I'm super excited to play all these 3DS games because there's a lot.
You got to play. You got to play Ocarina of Time in 3D.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that one.
It looks so good. It looks so good. Definitely play that one.
Where the hell do you have all this time? How are you? Where? How? How are you playing all of these games?
This is different. I'll tell you why. Because I didn't realize this till a couple nights ago. I'm like, I can play the 3DS in bed before I go to sleep.
100%.
So I just like sit by my bed, laying down, playing the 3DS.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just fall asleep playing. I'm like, this is.
I still think
great.
it's my favorite way to play Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight in 3D is stellar. Are you into RPGs?
Yeah, I am.
Because there's a bajillion of those.
Dragon Quest
and stuff is really good. But I mean, I would tell you the 3DS is absolutely the best device in the world to have if you want to play Fire Emblem game.
Okay.
It's got excellent RPGs. Pokemon Sun and Moon, my favorite Pokemon game.
I'm gonna get that.
And there's a bunch of other Pokemon games. And if you're not gonna mod it before the eShop closes, go buy all the Virtual Console Pokemon games. You can get them all. You can get Gold, Silver, Red, Blue, Yellow, Diamond, Diamond, Pearl, Crystal, like they're all there. Maybe not Diamond or Pearl. I think those are the new ones that just came on Switch. Yeah, but whatever the old ones are, and X and Y, and Ruby, Sapphire, and Omega. But the Virtual Console ones, they're like $10 each.
That's great.
Yeah, it's way better than the ROM. The ROMs are like $70. Like if you wanted to go buy a cartridge, like an OEM cartridge, they're like $70. Or you could buy the ROM on 3DS store for $10.
Yeah, I might just buy a bunch of those.
You better hurry though, because they're going to close the shop soon, and you may have to buy like a Nintendo gift card to put money on it, or connect your 3DS account to your Switch account and put money on your Switch account, because you can't. I don't think you
It's too
can use
many
your
hoops. It's too many hoops.
I don't
send it
think
to
you can use
Garrett.
you don't have
Send
to.
it to Garrett.
That's true, but you can't use your credit card on the system anymore. Is what I'm trying to say. You can't just buy.
So it's like the PS3. The PS3, you can't do that either.
Yeah, they're shuttering it down, so you have limited time to act.
Yeah, I'll do that this week. Then buy a bunch of stuff on there, or just
I'd hack the shit out of it if I were you.
Send it to Garrett.
It's too late.
Don't give Nintendo any more money for this old ass system. Send it to Garrett.
Oh, it's so good though. Such a good system.
Garrett, if you're listening, you might have to holler at me, son.
Monster Hunter, people love. Oh, dude, Metroid. Get Samus Returns.
Yeah,
I like Samus Returns a lot more than I like Dread, but that's just me.
It's so good. The Switch, the DS, 3DS. Is so
Okay.
Good. I don't.
You didn't play Samus Returns, so you don't know.
I played it originally.
That doesn't count
on the Game Boy.
It's better now. You didn't play it on 3DS, so you don't know. You didn't play it on 3DS, so you don't know.
3DS can kick rocks.
Oh, Delvin.
I don't like the 3D in it, by the way.
Oh, I was just about to recommend you some 3D games. Damn it.
Oh, tell me if you have some that look good. I've
got one. All right, I'm going to throw you this one. It's not going to cost you much, and you give me a try. You promise to do this?
I will.
Play Streets of Rage in 3D. It's like
that's the easy one.
There are a bunch of Sega classics in 3D, and those old 16-bit games in 3D look amazing. It is the best. I loved playing Streets of Rage on 3DS. It was so good. It's probably my favorite way to play Streets of Rage. And I've played Streets of Rage on like 16 different damn consoles. So if you like it, there's a lot more of them. You can play Sonic in 3D. Outrun in 3D is really good. Like all of the Sega 3D classics are really cheap, and they're really good, and they're a really good way to show off the 3D vision.
Okay, I'll try those. That might work for me.
They're really good.
The stuff I've been playing, so I'm like, ugh.
The other thing,
this at all.
the other thing that I do with the 3D, I don't know if this might help. I wish I had my 3DS with me. Is that I just click on the 3D just over the notch, and I don't go all the way up. Just keep it like way down.
That's my mistake.
You'll get the 3D effect without like the heavy 3D effect, because there is a thing with the, and I think I used to always say this on Shaq. If you pull out like a Zelda game, if you just notch the 3D clicker up, the game gets like visually brighter. Like there's like a little like a gamma setting or something there. It just gets it an extra bit of pop, and it doesn't look as dull. So like just minimal 3D is what you're looking for. Just over, there's a little notch.
Okay.
When you click it up, just go over the notch, just a little bit over, and then try it.
Yeah,
and you might like.
I think I was overdoing it.
Yeah,
I was like,
I never play with it all the way
to the max.
Yeah, it'll give you a
like,
headache.
What is this? Put it back down. Yeah.
All right.
I'll put it to the minimum.
This 3DS and Stray and all this other stuff. We got a long show. Donnie, let's get into the news.
Yeah, we've got new news bumpers, which is always exciting.
Yes.
And listeners, if you would like to send in a news bumper, you always can. You can shoot it on your phone, send it to me via Discord, email, Twitter, whatever you want to do, and we'll throw it in here. This week, guys, we're being. Kyle dropped a promo. Like he's shooting on us. Kyle dropped a promo. So take a look.
Donnie, Dev, and Delvin. I noticed all three of your names start with the letter D. What are you guys, like, are you trying to be like 3D, like the Dudley Boys in the WWE? Or is it Guy Fieri's Triple D, drive-ins, diners, and dives? I think Chris Hansen may not be the only one who's going to be on that show, because Guy Fieri would probably like to have a word with you. But anyways, on that note, I noticed, according to my calculations here on my phone, The PSVG podcast is taking a little bit of a downward spiral in ratings, just going shoo, kind of like Monday Night Raw a little bit while the ratings were going down, and they still are going down to begin with, while the Nintendo Shack, aka AEW, they're just going all the way up. Are you guys gonna let Nintendo Shack just stomp all over you in the PSVG community ratings? Is that what you're going to do? Donnie, Delvin, is that what you're going to do? Is you going to let this happen? Huh? I think the only way for the ratings to go back up. Elaine, come back. We need you, Elaine. Seriously, we definitely need you. And with that being said, Donnie, bring us into the news. Kyle the Pug, out.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my
Apparently-
God, that was awesome.
Apparently, we're WWE.
We
that's-
suck.
Man, we're
That's the
good.
better show. You ask any non-Mark, it's the better show. 100%.
As long as none of us is Vince McMahon, I'm good with it. Don't want to be
Yeah.
that dude right now.
I mean, Nintendo is what built PSVG, so no surprises there.
Hey, Shaq, kiss the ring, right?
Yeah.
I loved he's like, are you going to let them do that? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was going to
I'm
put in
fine
like,
with
we're lazy, but I couldn't find anything.
that would work perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're lazy.
those edits were great.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was
All right.
Does that make PlayStation XP NXT 2.0?
Y'all are Impact. Okay. Y'all are definitely Impact. Okay. As Delvin mentioned last week while we were recording live, a ton
Breaking news, baby.
of Last of Us stuff was being dropped while we were recording last week. Like incomplete sections of the game being sent out, pictures. The whole internet had a damn mob fire over The Last of Us and this remake and everything, which prompted Naughty Dog to respond with a 10-minute trailer called Rebuilding The Last of Us, where they go over all of the things that they're doing to the game. So I'll cover them in quickly. The visuals, graphics, overhaul, you see that in the trailer. There's a brand new lighting system, which personally I think makes a world of difference. In addition to the new character models with their new facial expressions, the new eye tech and everything that they're bringing. The main, I think, criticism after the leaks, I didn't dive too much into the leaks, so I don't know if it's just one person or multiple people. I don't know. Was that there's no gameplay. There's no gameplay changes, which we talked about last week that had kind of leaked out early. And I was one of those people that was like, I honestly, when we first got rumors, when Grubb was like, they're remaking The Last of Us, I 100% expected them to like remake The Last of Us in Last of Us 2's engine. When they announced that they weren't doing that, I was a little upset because I think the game is worth that type of investment. But I understand not wanting to change it. There are a lot of people, on Twitter that are like, if they added proning and stuff to the game, it would completely change the game. I agree. And I think there was still I still think in like some of those battle arenas that The Last of Us has, like when Ellie's the sniper and you have like those two buildings and a bunch of people to take out in Pittsburgh, like anytime they just drop you like in an arena where you've got to kill like 12 people, like being able to sneak and prone and stuff, they could have added it just to those sections, maybe add a few, new enemies or something. They could have called it like a new game plus mode or something. I think there was room for that to happen. I just want to be clear, but there was a lot of people that are saying like, hey, this game doesn't have enough gameplay enhancements that differentiates it from the remaster. Therefore, and I would love to not talk about the cost of the game as much as possible, but again, the trending opinion is it's not worth the amount of money they're charging.
You can't
So-
at that point. You really can't.
So the gameplay has been altered though, and I wanted to make sure that I crystal clearly detailed them. So we have haptics, as we knew we were going to have in PS5. They will be on every weapon. Every weapon will be different. They made notice of the shotgun. Not only will you feel the haptics when you pull the trigger, but you will feel the haptics and you will hear the pump when you reload. So they talked about the bow and arrow and all of that. And these are things we've seen in other games, maybe not to this extent, but these are things we've seen in other games. But they also showed something we did not know. And I don't know why I never expected it. I just never did. You can pet the fucking giraffe. Like you can feel it. Game of the year. Game of the year. They did it. Like I saw it and I was like, worth every penny. I get to pet the giraffe. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm all on board.
That's dope.
But there's also a completely new movement system, which is what Dev and I were talking about. Like I said, 100%, even if they didn't do those combat, they're going to adjust the movement. And they did. And they talk about it. They have this new movement system that basically better matches animations to your character and where your character is positioned relative to enemies or cover and things like that. And they showed it off. And it does look drastically improved and smoother. They showed off destructible materials in the environment. You may not think that's gameplay thing, but I think when you're playing a game and you shoot off pieces of a column or pieces of a table or something, that does enhance your gameplay. And the most important part, I think, is that they've added more sophisticated AI, both to your companions, like the buddy system and the stealth, which is hilarious because when The Last of Us came out, that was probably the number one criticism about it. They're like, it's a stealth
she's just
game,
gonna run right past that person.
But Ellie just walked right in
really?
front of the clicker and didn't attack. You know, like, yeah, that was the number one. And now that they're like, yeah, we fixed that and nobody cares. Apparently they're like, oh, it's not enough. Cool. You didn't do enough. So yeah, they added new AI, but not just AI to your companion, also to your enemies.
Can you imagine how hard the hard difficulty is going to be now?
Oh, no, I can't. I'm never going to see it. No, thanks.
Never found out.
But yeah, so those are gameplay enhancements. They're also doing 3D audio. They're also adding a permadeath mode, which is intriguing. I don't think I could ever do it, but I mean, it's kind of intriguing. They're doing a speed run mode, which is honestly just a timer. But I mean, I think an official mode like that kind of support honestly should be in more games because speed running is such a thing. So I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing the model viewer, which was in Last of Us 2. They're bringing it to Last of Us 1 and a bunch of different scenes. You can rotate and see the models and all that. And a ton of outfits that you can play and unlock. These like 50?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a lot. And I know they're just skins, but I think those are cool for characters you really like and stuff. We'll see how, I mean, the ones they showed in the trailer I thought looked cool. So I thought that was pretty exciting. Plus all the accessibility stuff that the Last of Us 2 was so, congratulated on. All of that's being thrown in as well. Okay, so Naughty Dog also took to Twitter. So Vice President Aaron Meyer wrote, "Leaks really suck, especially when we're right on the cusp of an asset drop. It's disheartening and it's frustrating to teams who've put their hearts into making awesome things for our fans." And then we have another thing that says the sentiment was echoed by other Naughty Dog members. I think Neil Druckmann also took to Twitter. Several folks took to Twitter and talked about it. Like I saw one of them was talking about the proning, how it would change the game, and how they didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep it original and all that. So ultimately, I want to talk to you guys about the comment on the leaks. But before we do, what do you think of the trailer? And what do you think? Because I mean, I think this has all died over now. I think we've all moved past it. Like Twitter has collectively gone over it. Like it's been done. It's been hashed. The horse has been beaten. But like we're all getting this game. I think we're all three of us are very excited for this game. Yes. I thought the trailer looked incredible.
It just made me want to play it. Fuck 100%. The haters. Here's my $100. Yep. I'm ready to go. Everybody else that wants to complain, you can suck a fat one.
I think this kind of shows the perfect example of a leak not equaling what it's supposed to be. The true game experience is in terms of like the leak. Yeah, the leak looked a little blurry, looked a little mediocre, but
it was washed out.
See it, yeah, it's washed out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you see this is how we want you to see it. It's like, oh, okay. Now you can really see the differences, and you can tell, and then you have it all put out in front of you. Okay, now you get a clearer picture of it. And I like
the context for everything.
Which is the point. This is actually the point that I've always made about spoilers in all leaks, is that I can know something's happening or expected to happen, and it doesn't take away my excitement because seeing is believing. Like I understand that people, want to try and recapture as many Christmas morning moments in their lives before they go as possible. But like, I don't need to be surprised to like something. Like, I don't judge like these things. I feel like a lot of video game marketing like beats, they really focus on surprising fans. They want to surprise you with it, and I don't need that surprise. To me, I don't grade anything based on how much it surprises me. I think leaks in this regard, they're actually leaking assets of the game. I think that's for the developers to do. You're leaking something that shouldn't be out there. That's not cool. But like when, Jeff Grubb said a year ago that they were remaking Last of Us, that didn't hurt me at all when they announced it. So like, I think they're varying degrees to leaks, I guess, is ultimately the point I'm trying to make. But I'm happy you said that, Delvin, because that's the thing that I've always said is you could tell me every game that's at the next show. And if the game looks as awesome as this did, I will still be incredibly excited and hyped for that show. Like, I don't need them to surprise me for it to be cool.
They have a leak problem at Naughty Dog. I don't know what's going on, but Last of Us 2.
The tweets that I was seeing
is never gonna let anybody test a game ever again.
Yeah, what I saw was that this was basically a quality assurance tester that was working remotely. So they had remote access to assets that they leaked. I mean, in that regard, security is going to be extremely hard to. You can't stop that from happening. I even if it was on like streaming, even if he was playing it over streaming, he could still take captures those assets. There's nothing anybody could do.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think this is the same thing as the last one. The last one was a hack. Last of Us 2, the servers got hacked. That's Naughty Dog's fault. That can be preventable. This you really can't stop if if somebody's hell bent on leaking it. Now you can put stuff in the way to give you some recourse of action. Obviously fire that person, possibly sue that person, but you can't stop somebody from doing that if you give them access to it.
Yeah.
Yep. People suck.
Well, me and Rebecca had a long go around. I argued with a few people, and not that if there are people out there, even friends of mine, that are like, it's not worth it. I'm not trying to change their minds. There are some interesting theories as to why it's not worth it. And I think that's honestly where I was kind of going when I was discussing it with people. There were a lot of people that were like, you can't do this. Like, this is unfair to the customer or like not valuable. And it's really difficult because we don't.
Not fair to the customer? What kind of shenanigans?
It's because there's a lot of people are disturbed, I guess, by a precedent in video games that like the game has already been remastered. Therefore, like this is like basically a remaster of a remaster. And the difference, I think honestly, the line in the sand that I have with everybody else that I've seen on the opposite side of this is I'm totally okay with that. I honestly am. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I there's not a really good example for me to pull from. Like I was thinking like Bloodborne. Do you know how many people are like fawning over the idea of Bloodborne just getting an enhanced patch? Let alone like if they did this level of updates to it. They overhauled the entire graphics and made it visually better and performance was better and they added haptics and they sold it to you for $70. That not only would that announcement be welcomed with applause, like thunderous applause, it would sell like hotcakes.
I feel like Bloodborne is a very bad example, though. Like,
okay.
It's a terrible comparison.
The other example that I had that I was trying to use, and I get it that Game Pass makes it difficult, but personally for me, and this might just be my fandom that's speaking, Gears of War was remastered last gen. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Yep. It's not so ultimate. Like I replayed it last year, and I've been saying this for years. It's not great. It's not Gears 4 good. It's not Gears 5 good. If Xbox suddenly came out and was like, we're remastering Gears of War again, we're going to make it better, it's going to be Gears 5 better, I'd instantly buy that. 100%.
That would be a great comparison because it is a game that came out on the 360, had an Ultimate Edition for Xbox One.
Right.
And then if you remaster it again, it's on the new stuff. The same way as Last of Us was on PS3.
Exactly.
Remastered for PS4, and if we remaster it, being remastered again for the new gen. So Gears of War would be an excellent example. And if people aren't as up in arms as they are about this, then all of them can go to hell.
My son has been playing Uncharted 1 on the Drake collection, the Uncharted collection.
Mhm.
If they wanted to go back to Uncharted 1 and remake it Naughty Dog style, I would buy that too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say that people are being facetious because I believe them actually. I believe a lot of these people that are like, it's not worth it to me, I'm not going to buy it. I believe them. I don't think they are.
That's fine. Don't
Right,
then
and
just shut up
that's fine
and
too.
don't buy it.
I don't think I won't go as far as shut up. It's one of
I
those things
will.
where, well, here's the thing. It seems like there's a lot of open arms for people saying I don't want to buy this, but there doesn't seem to be as many open arms for people saying I do. There's a lot of people like Twitter's a great place if you want to be snarky.
Because
But if you want to be supportive,
most people who are
Twitter's
just
not a
happy
great
and they're
place to
fine,
be
they're
supportive,
just they're just gonna buy it. Most people who are just like whatever, like me, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with anybody over the internet about this. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna ignore all of you people who are yelling. I don't care.
And I'm not arguing. I think I was having some pretty good discussions with people, just
Yeah,
their ideas.
I'm not
how,
jumping in those
how they
discussions.
value their things. But yeah, I think Twitter just its very nature.
Keyboard
The echo
warriors.
chamber kind of beats harder when you're being a little more critical. I don't even want to say negative. I'm gonna just say critical. If you're criticizing something, I think that gets attention and discussion more than if you're like, I really like this.
Yeah, that's across the board. You always get way more when it's something negative. People don't pay attention to the positive. It's like the negative draws out the crowd. That's what's going to get a conversation going. If it's everybody is just high-fiving, that conversation ends just like that.
There are a lot of those, and I don't follow the negative one, so I'm not even going to go there because we all know that there's always the toxic people. Like, I'm not referring to those people. I'm talking just good old gamers that were just letting their opinions be known. However, there was a lot of Naughty Dog would have never shown us this if it wasn't for the leaks. It's like, that's not, they didn't go and make that trailer
No,
that
they
day.
don't. That's ridiculous.
They had that trailer.
That felt like they were working on that. That was way too polished to be like, let me retaliate.
It just wasn't. It wasn't their marketing plan. They wanted to show it closer to release. So I definitely think they jumped it. I think they moved it up. They're like, oh, just F it. Just because I mean, I think those leaks, the state of the game, and because it was trending, and the discussion around the game, it warranted a response because it was negatively affecting their game. And that sucks.
Yeah.
That does suck for the marketing plan. That's not cool. So
I think, in my opinion, I think people get too personal with video games and not understand it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And Naughty Dog knows, and Sony knows for that matter, what they can get for this game. And they're going to charge for it. It's not nothing personal. It's a business move. And that's why I always tell people, you can sit there and be mad about game prices and things like that. Just vote with your wallet. If you don't want to get it, don't get it.
Exactly.
But they're going to do what they're going to do because at the end of the day, they are a business and their job is to get your money. Yes, their business is making great games and things like that, but their business and their job is to get their money, to be number one in their marketplace. And they're going to do it the way they feel best to do it. Xbox does it with Game Pass. They're not doing Game Pass as a favor to you. They're doing it because they're making it the best value for you can stay on their console.
I forgot about
Sony's
this.
trying to do it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I had a
thought. Go ahead.
I remembered something that I was thinking last week and everybody was losing their minds about this. I don't think this is going to happen. I'm not predicting it. However, I wouldn't rule it out, right? The chances are never zero. Do you think Naughty Dog would ever delist Last of Us Remastered? The OG?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right? Because I saw so many people. There were so many people who were like, if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. You just play the old one. I was like, I wonder if they would ever take away the option to play the old one. Like, obviously, if we own it, they'll let you keep playing it. Like, they're not going to take it out of our library. That's what I'm saying. But they might take it off the store, so nobody new can buy it. You can only buy the new one.
People would be pissed.
Let them be pissed.
I wouldn't blame Naughty Dog for even doing that.
Yeah. This is the definitive way to play our game. This is what you're going to play.
Yeah.
Like Delvin said, like, stop getting so personal with games.
Not in September.
They're not making this just to make you happy. They're trying to make money. They're making things that they enjoy. It's a for-profit thing. And people think that yelling and screaming and complaining about something like that is going to change the price. It's not.
Well,
when you yell and you complain about games being broken, Yeah, that's a little different. That's a service that was trash. But when things are broken and you want to yell and complain about things being broken to get them fixed, that's one thing. But saying that you don't want to pay $70, this game isn't worth $70, just don't buy it. They're not going to change the price just because you feel like it's not worth it.
The thing about the people arguing about the price, and the only thing I want to say about the price is, okay, if it's not worth 70 for you, that's fine. But like if you wanted to buy it at 50 or 40 or 30 or whatever that price that you think is, like it'll be there within a year.
Yeah.
Probably not even that long.
Right. So like why is everybody like why I don't understand why the cost has been such a focal point, I guess. I'm trying to dive beneath just the $70. Like I'm trying to like what's the reason for this anger behind the $70, I guess.
Well, I've said
like what
when
specifically about this game? Because I would say this game has a lot more done to it than some other games that have already been charged for $70.
It's simply because it's been remastered once already. So why are you charging us at full price for a game that is not even new? It's just a remake of something that's already there. We've already have it.
This when they first announced the $70 price point, people are gonna find a reason to complain about it. Whatever game, where Ratchet and Clank, they were like, "Oh, this is not worth $70. It's too short of a game." They find reasons. What is it? Demon's Soul remake? Why is this $70? This is a remake.
Yeah, I just hope
people.
I hope that those people
price.
I hope people hold to that and they keep that energy. I hope they're not buying $70 Madden and $70 Gran Turismo and like other. So like that's the thing I don't like. You can't be like, well, this game is worth 70 and that one's not. Like if they're all brand new release games, that's the price.
Right.
Like that's the
They're
price.
they're not gonna keep it to it with this game. They're gonna buy this game.
And that's the point I'm ultimately making. Yeah, I know. I already know that. I know that. That's the thing but that's the price is the price because that's the price PlayStation has set. They're not just going to miraculously be like, nah, this one's 50 now. We change your minds.
Yeah.
No, they already did that.
It goes on sale.
They already did that. And I think Jim Ryan already kicked himself in the foot for that because they did it and then they had upgrades and then it got all confusing. And he was like, just F it. This is the last one you can upgrade everything from on out. Because that's the thing is if you play with the price like that, that's the reaction you get. Is people like, why is it this one 50? The other one is 50. Why isn't it? So they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. Everything's $70. Best of luck.
Get with it.
Yep.
Get with it. You don't want to play it day one. Wait for a sale.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, remaster, whatever this was supposed to be, remake, right? From Aspire Media has been.
I thought it was Asper.
No, it's Aspire. That's like
the
Asper. Play on the word.
I always read it.
Yeah, Aspire.
It's dead. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's been delayed indefinitely. That's according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. The following art director Jason Miner and design director Brad Prince were both fired from the studio after they showed their first vertical slice of the game. Apparently, the studio bosses weren't pleased with either how long it took to make the vertical slice or how it looked or how it performed, and they fired both of them. And now the game may never come out or is on hold or postponed or who knows.
That shit ain't coming out.
Yeah,
I think it might because Lucas just seems to be throwing everything to everything, but you guys know how I felt like this from the day it was announced. I never understood the excitement. I've never played anything from Aspire that I was like, this is amazing. Like
nobody cared about the Aspire thing. People were excited about
they care about Knights of the Old Republic.
It's just hope, right? It's hope that would be great, right?
But
hope. It's like but you want Knights of the Old Republic to be made by somebody who's truly good at making games.
Most of these people ain't paying attention to who's making it or know who they are. They're just like, new KOTOR, it's being remade, yay!
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess I look a little deeper than that then.
Well, yeah, it's because we do this.
And so I can back up what I'm saying. I've only played their other ports of the Star Wars games. I don't know if they've done anything else, to be honest with you. But the other ports of the Star Wars games that they've done, I did the Republic Command of the Shooter. I did Pod Race. Like they're not great.
Yeah,
so, like good. Right, and I was like, this isn't. Those are ports, and they weren't great. And like we've got people crying tears because they get KOTOR. I'm like, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
I kind of looked at like, okay, I will have essentially a port of KOTOR to play on PS5. That's how I looked at it. Like, this is really cool.
Yeah, that's probably what
I didn't have my
isn't
high
but
for
isn't KOTOR doesn't already have like an upgraded port to mobile?
Yeah,
I think it's
And
one
Aspire
for
may have
Switch.
done that.
they did.
It's on Switch.
So just play
It's
that.
on Switch. It's also on mobile. It's on iOS. So they redid that, ported it there. They also did KOTOR 2, same thing.
So
On
just play that.
mobile, on Windows, on
Yeah.
Android, on all of that. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, this was like apparently it was supposed to be a remake, and it wasn't going to be as RPG-ish. It was going to be a little more action based. So I think people were excited about that. But
Then I
having
definitely
never
would
played
want a different
KOTOR,
studio doing it.
I don't care. It's
Yeah, I
dead.
don't either.
It's dead to me. It's dead to me.
Nathan says, who would you call to go to Aspire and figure out how to get KOTOR remake back on track? I'd call Kylo Ren to go finish it.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm with
calling.
Donnie.
Go
I'm with
finish
Donnie.
this.
Kill it
Put
if you
this in
want
the
to,
ground.
please. We're done here.
Sorry, Nathan. This is going to be fun. We're not going to read all these bullet points, but staying on the Bloomberg train, Rockstar has reportedly cleaned up its frat boy culture, Grand Theft Auto along with it. There's a new tone at the company and a change in creative direction for Grand Theft Auto 6. And as such, it will probably feel very different from Grand Theft Auto 5, as Rockstar has also pledged to keep overtime to an absolute minimum. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They've overhauled schedules. They've brought in, they've made all contract workers permanent workers. They've added flex time. They've added producers. These are all amazing things for the most profitable studio like in the world. I don't know if that's actually true, but we all think it's true because Grand Theft Auto has sold a bajillion. Honestly, bajillion's not the right word. There isn't a good
We need
word.
a new word.
There isn't a good word to explain how much more Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold than like every other video game. Like even Call of Duty. Like it's insane how much this game has made. But yeah, so those people that have made this incredibly successful game, they've got all the money in the world to be able to afford to not crunch. Like crunch is always just about budget. So it's nice to see that they're doing that. But there were also some other things in terms of their culture change, I guess, at the studio. Reportedly, after George Floyd's death, Rockstar shelved an upcoming expansion to GTA Online called Cops and Crooks, concerned about how it might have been received. Makes sense. It's kind of the old, decision. Yeah. So it's basically put on the shelf. I mean, I want to say that that is like as old as time. Cops and robbers, good guys and bad guys. Like just because they shelved it doesn't mean you can't shoot a cop or a cop can't shoot a person in a video game.
There's whole RP servers in Grand Theft Auto Online where people are playing as the cop. People are playing like they're role
pulling
playing
people over. Yeah.
And
I'm not even saying even outside of that, there's 1,000 other games that do it. So
I don't think they want their name attached to it. That they didn't want to vote for it specifically.
I think the timing was. I think the timing made sense. It also was announced that the staff at Rockstar is wondering, quote, what a GTA game even looks like in today's time.
Right.
As the developers are also being cautious not to punch down by making jokes or marginalizing groups or the satirical nature that Call of Duty has been known for. This is something I've brought up.
You mean Grand Theft Auto?
I'm
Call
sorry,
of Duty.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. This is something I've brought up a few times.
Talked about last week. Yeah.
Board of Video Games, talked about it here. If you're in the Grand Theft Auto kind of space channels, this has been circulating for a couple months now. People are calling it like woke Rockstar and stuff like that. I still think they'll be able to pull this off, but I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't exactly the update that I was hoping to hear. I enjoy the fact that Rockstar has pushed boundaries. I think it has made their game stand out from the rest. If a Rockstar game doesn't push boundaries, I'm being 100% honest. They're so big and they're so good at making video games that I'm sure the video game will be good. But it does make me wonder if it just becomes another open world sandbox game. Like, does it feel less like Grand Theft Auto and more like a Mafia game or a Saints Row game? Like a Saints Row.
Oh, it's just like, modern day Red Dead Redemption is what it's
or Red Dead. Yeah. But on to Grand Theft Auto 6. It will include a first-time female protagonist. She'll be Latina. Apparently, the game is set in Vice City or Miami, and it's going to have like some sort of bank robbers, Bonnie and Clyde type thing, which I think is cool. Like I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde would be fun. We'll see if it's set like in a different time period or if it's a modern type of retelling of that. I think it's totally
I
fine.
kind of
That
want it in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, with me, anytime
want
you
it-
say Vice or Miami, and you'd be like, I want neon and 80s and all of that. So
I want 90s Miami bass, that era of how wild Miami was in that time. That would be an
Mhm.
incredible place to put Grand Theft Auto.
okay,
Such a wild
Gotta
time.
have some
Like,
Miami
everything that went on there-
Hurricanes side missions
I think
Yes.
I'm totally.
because the
I
U
mean-
was running the city.
That's true. I'm
Yes.
excited for a female protagonist, but I'm interested in seeing how well they pull that off. I generally think Rockstar games mostly have been from a male perspective. I don't think they should like have to change that if they don't want to. I think it's totally fine. We can have games that are, meant to be played from a female perspective as well as a male perspective. But I think Rockstar should be more than capable of doing both. And it looks like that's maybe what they're trying to do here. But I'm interested to see if they can pull it off. Because, Grand Theft Auto games are known, honestly, for some of their crass and their misogyny. And it'd be interesting to see what type of alterations they make because of that.
I will say this, and this is highly important. People don't realize if they've never been to Miami. You have to nail that Latin culture, especially if you have a Latino as your main character. You have to nail the Latin culture, the Latin slang, the machismo-ness of everything, because especially Miami is very.
Are you concerned that they wouldn't? That honestly never
Yes,
crossed
I
my
am.
mind because they put
I
so
am
much.
too.
concerned.
Really?
Yeah, just
Yes.
based on previous GTA games and the fact that like most of it outside of like Franklin and what's it called? San
I was going to
Andreas,
say, like, you did
it was
Franklin,
mostly
Vice
just
City.
like white dudes. So
Sure. But different white dudes,
Yeah.
different walks of white dudes.
yeah,
I know-
yeah, white dudes. So I worry.
I know you may look at
about
them all
it
the
being-
same, but they're not.
They're not.
They're
No,
from
no, no.
different
they're not.
socioeconomic statuses, different types of white people.
It's still white dudes. So I just
Wow.
I worry about them choosing a Latina. It just, and I also worry about the pushback they'll get from like all the people who play GTA.
That
Like,
I worry
yeah,
about. That's
that-
something. That's what I've been saying for the last 2 months about this.
Yeah, like
I'm with you
like,
there.
ugh.
I'm not concerned of them. Like, if they're going to take this on, they've got all the money. Again, they've got all the money, all the time, all the budget to have the expertise to pull it off. If Ubisoft can do it, if anybody else can do it, Rockstar can do it. Like, I honestly never even thought, they never even came across my mind that they would completely flop on something like that. Like, they wouldn't do it if they couldn't, I guess, in my mind.
Yeah. I feel like it's not going to be GTA.
They're not
Like,
going to
it's
have
not-
like the liberal radio, the conservative radio, like all of those stereotypes, like those sketch comedy bits.
I want GTA to be GTA.
I
don't
want to
want
say
it to
that
be woke.
without being like shamed for it, because I don't feel like I should be
Shame
shamed
me,
for it.
please. I
It's
don't
like-
care.
I don't want this to happen to Grand Theft Auto.
Me either. I don't either. I
At
want
all.
GTA to remain. It's just absolutely ridiculous satire. That's what I want from GTA. When I play a GTA game, that's what I'm looking for. If you completely change the formula, it's not GTA.
And one of the quotes that they
That's
had in the
kind of why I
article
want
was
to
like,
be in the 90s.
Yeah. Because then
I
you
kinda
can
wanna
still
be in
do
the
the
90s 'cause-
satire.
well, that was
Yes,
the point I was
because
going to
you
make.
bring it to today, I don't think you could do it. I don't think it'll work because people.
One
will
of
be
the things they
so
said in the
angry,
article
like,
was, how can we make a satire of America when it's already satirical of itself?
yes.
Mhm.
And a lot of people agree. I don't. I think you can absolutely push that further than you did.
Oh,
like,
you absolutely
especially
can.
with everything that's
can.
happened to 2022, 100% you can go further with it. But by going to a different place and time, you can still do that. But I mean, look, the ripples in the water are suggesting that they don't want to. Like, they're going
Yeah.
away from that.
They don't want the backlash.
Just make a
from it.
different game. Make a different game. Don't call it GTA. You don't want the backlash because you're also taking the name and you're completely changing what GTA is. Don't do that. Just make
And
a
I don't
different
want to.
game.
I don't want to judge it because we haven't seen it yet. I still think they can probably they can probably thread.
I
them
think they
between.
can.
Yeah, I do too. They did say that they're going to build on like this city space. There'll be a lot more interior sections, like in buildings and stuff. But then one of their models is changing, is that they'll add on to it with other cities and more stuff over the years. So that's kind of that GTA Online part of how would that, work its way into
you
the
mean
actual
like
base game.
story-based DLC that we always wanted for
I think what
GTA
would
5 and
happen
never
is
got?
they would probably drop expansions for GTA Online that include some minor story stuff that you can, to weave the expansion into the
I
single
think
player.
they do that now,
Not in the single player.
but it's not single player. It's
Right.
just
Yeah, that's
you got to
right.
play the.
My
GTA
impression
Online
from
to
the
get the story.
article, my impression from the
Yeah.
Bloomberg article was that they'll still have GTA Online. Don't get me wrong, but they'll be adding single player stuff, I guess, as they build onto that.
That'd be great.
The only other thing
that,
that
right?
I deleted our notes. The only other thing was apparently the anonymous sources that spoke to Jason said they don't expect the game will be out in the next 2 years. So they're thinking 2025 at the earliest.
Man, it's
That's
coming
what I
out
thought.
at the end of the generation, and it'll be remastered for the next generation. Come on,
2029.
we know
Yeah.
how this goes.
We got a lot of Ubisoft updates. They've delayed Avatar. They've also delayed smaller
Delay that
unannounced.
into extinction.
Yeah, that's just can't
Put that shit in the trash.
100%.
Treat it like y'all said about that Star Wars game. Do that to this shit.
See, they
Throw
could
that
just give
shit away.
Ubisoft KOTOR.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that'll
I'm
work.
gonna get off my soapbox. So the Avatar game, they're putting a lot of money and effort into. Like, they really want that to be a thing, and I hope it is for Ubisoft's sakes because I root for Ubisoft. But there isn't an IP that I think you could give me that I'd be least interested in than Avatar. Like, I have zero, like, it's negative influence to even be. I'm not even interested in it. I don't even want to see.
I'm
Not even the
probably
least bit.
the only one in all of PSVG who really enjoys Avatar, but I don't want a game of it at all.
Avatar can fuck all the way off.
Yeah, I don't want any
I don't
more.
like it at all.
I enjoyed the
I
hell
walked.
out of that
I walked
movie.
out of the movie. Walked out.
It was
Left.
Terrible.
I had a real good time with that one.
You can keep
Really
your
enjoyed
new age Fern Gully. Thank you.
Fern Gully. Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
That's
I liked it. I liked it the first time.
Avatar's not.
I disagree. But that's okay.
They also the smaller unannounced premium game apparently is Assassin's Creed Rift. That's that smaller Assassin's Creed stealth-based game set in Baghdad that we've been waiting on. Apparently that's been bumped into next spring. But it's also, quote, far behind schedule. So, it's never been dated or even announced. So you can't call it a delay or feel like it's a delay because it hasn't been delayed, but who knows when we'll see it. And this also comes off the heels of they canceled several other projects, including Ghost Recon Frontline. So Ubisoft's having
game.
Yeah, Ubisoft's having a time at the moment. They seem to be going through some stuff over there. I'm not sure exactly what else going on.
Somebody buy him and save him, right?
Kinda.
Somebody go ahead.
It seems like
buy
they're
Ubisoft and just
seems
save
like
him.
they're running out of steam, or I don't know. Like they need to and I hate this because coming off of like truly an epic, like, and I think maybe in just pure game design, their best achievement in Valhalla. Like Valhalla is so grand and so big and so contentful and so rich, has so many people playing. It's like, man, you did it, Ubisoft. Just keep doing that. And it seems like it's falling apart. It's like Valhalla just destroyed this company.
The company just has Assassin's Creed fatigue. They're like, we don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
we're just falling apart here.
I just think
No
it's the
more Assassin's Creed.
manifestation. It's the manifestation of the business model and how sustainable it is. I think
They need to be like, like Activision and buy a bunch of little smaller studios and have them all work on Assassin's
They are.
Creed.
That's what they're doing. No, that's what they've done. I actually think Ubisoft is the best example of a global project. They have every studio worked on Valhalla, all across Canada, France, India, like all over the place. Like they do that coordination really well. But yeah, I just think the business model is it's hurting their product. And quite possibly the most bizarre news story of the year as it comes to games, in my mind. Meta has announced plans to increase the price of their headset, the Quest 2, by $100.
What?
Can you ever recall this happening? Has this ever happened to gaming hardware ever?
Only when it becomes scarce and they're not selling it anymore.
The
But
Quest
this
has
is
been out
absolute
for
nonsense.
2 years? Quest 2? 3 years?
Yeah.
2 years?
2 years.
Why would anybody in their right mind want to give Facebook more money?
They said the cost is required to make and ship its products because the cost required to do that has been on the rise. That's just, I mean, look, my
Yeah, so
reaction
do
to
you,
that as a
Facebook.
customer would
Eat
be
that
like,
cost.
yeah, it sucks that your product costs more to ship. That's what happens when you make products. Like,
Yeah, not my problem.
That's not my fucking
Yeah.
problem.
They're like, my bad. Can you imagine somebody told you, like, hey, your car costs X amount of dollars. We're going to raise the price on it because it costs us
you
more
imagine
now.
they come back to you next year and they're like, hey, Delvin, we sold you that car a little too cheaply. We need you to give us another couple $1,000. Get the hell off my porch. And it's not like it's a utility, right? It's not it's not like food or grain or fuel or energy. Dude, it's a headset. You know, it's
I
like,
hope
well,
this
okay.
tanks the company.
And
I just hope.
it definitely won't. But it's one of those things where if it was costing too much to ship and make, then you know what you do? You pause shipping and making them.
Yeah.
Just wait it out a minute. You know, like reduce costs.
Zuckerberg was like, "Screw y'all. We're gonna raise the price. We're just gonna rake the profits. We don't care what you people think."
They also say that they're going to put more money into new product development and games and stuff because of this. I forgot to mention that if you do buy the new Quest at the higher price, you get Beat Saber for free. We'll throw that in there.
Ooh.
The only thing that sucks about that is that when you buy Beat Saber, you get like 5 songs in the game. You have to buy all the other, like you have to buy every good song, you know? So like getting Beat Saber the game.
That's just Beat Saber is just a Trojan horse for you to give them more money. That's
wow. Sean says this happened with the PS4 after it launched in Canada. The price went up a year later. Wow. Yeah, that's nonsense. Wow.
Yeah.
But that's Canada. That's funny money.
Meanwhile, Sony continues to tease the PSVR 2. They had another blog post this week where they talked about the UI and they talked about the border and all the new stuff that they're doing. We still don't have a price or a release window for that. I think the immediate knee-jerk reaction was, well, this has got to be great for Sony, right? Because their competition probably just came back to them. But another way of looking at it is, if Facebook is having to raise the price because they're not making enough money on units, what does that mean for the PlayStation units? Like, how much could they cost? Right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, PlayStation will just match it and then we'll have a 1-to-1 comparison. It's like, but are you sure? Are we sure we're not going to see PSVR 2 like $499 or some shit?
I mean, can they afford to make the PSVR unit that needs the system the same price as the system like that? Just
we've talked about this ever.
That's shooting yourself in the foot.
$399, I think, is the most that they can possibly put it on shelves,
and that's pushing it.
That's the price of the Quest, which doesn't need a PS5. Which runs on its own. Here's the other thing. I did want to ask you guys this, and specifically Delvin. When the PSVR 2 finally releases, do you think that PSVR will be like the primary place for VR games to go and get sold, or is that still Quest?
It'll still be Quest.
I agree with you. I think it'll still be Quest
100%.
Oh, man. Yeah, if I were Sony, I might just like hold off on PSVR for a while. I might just like have she be like, look, we're gonna go back to the drawing board.
More stuff of it this week.
I know. It doesn't seem like a really good place to be trying to launch one.
I don't think PSVR will ever reach that unless it's standalone. It would have to be standalone for it to reach those type of levels.
What, $399?
No, just
no to reach the where it unseats Quest.
Oh, I got it.
Unless of course like people are just really like, screw you, Facebook. We're not messing with y'all.
I think there's some people like that for sure.
Or whatever. And they may end up, being able to capture a good portion of that user base if they really want PS or if they really want VR.
Yeah, but the thing is you have to own a PS5 to do it. So that's almost $1,000 investment.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Like
Quest 2 has sold over 10 million units. That was last year too. Last year, not 2020, like last year. So I honestly don't think like PlayStation VR, if it was a huge success, get to like what, 5?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be
look, it's real simple. It's real simple.
They're lucky.
You make Grand Theft Auto 6 PSVR 2 only. Done.
Sold.
Sell everything.
Done. Yeah, sold it. You did it. Okay. quick hitter, we got to move, man. Quick hitters, PlayStation Plus Essentials. You're getting Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and you're getting the PS5 version. Suck it, Activision. Yakuza Like a Dragon and Little Nightmares,
Great
not
game.
Little Nightmares 2, which is a bummer because I've been wanting to play Little Nightmares 2 for a while. Also announced today, all Yakuza games are coming to PlayStation Plus this year, assuming you have the right tier. Some of them are coming to the middle tier. Some of the other ones are coming to the higher tier. We had a fun discussion about this in Discord. I was going to save it for the pod, but I already said it. That's just confusing and
ridiculous.
compounding. Yeah,
Just
put it
get
all
the
on one
premium
tier.
tier. Just buy the
buy
highest
the
tier
super
and
tier,
save
whatever the
yourself
tier
all
is.
the trouble.
yeah, like imagine sitting down and being like, well, do I have this game? Like, F that noise. Just buy the super. And then I think that's Sony's, actually might be Sony's plan. Sony's like, well, we'll
Probably.
offer it at a lower price, but we'll make them, like, we'll make it confusing as hell if you just don't give us all the money.
We'll just split everything up so you're kind of screwed.
Pretty smart.
Forced into the higher
Pretty
tier.
smart. It's good strategy there.
Or just buy the Yakuza collection. It's always on sale for like $30. Just buy the collection. Yeah, you don't have to worry about what tier you're on.
Sony's closing online servers for Killzone Shadowfall and Mercenary. So pour one out. Mercenary is quite good, actually. Both of those are pretty good. I like both. Lord of the Rings Gollum has been delayed a few months. That's all he said. It's just delayed if you like. It also kind of
What's a few
nobody
months?
knows. Nobody knows, apparently.
They
Good for
announced
fantasy
the date
for me.
for it?
No,
It was supposed
we're
to
delaying
come
it a
out.
few months. It was supposed to
Yeah,
come
I
out
think-
September or something.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this game. None.
I don't either, and I
Nope.
love
I like
Lord of the Rings, but like this is not the Lord of the Rings game that I want at all.
At all.
I would love a
Precious.
Lord of the Rings tactics game, an RTS, an action game, a movie tie-in, like a Lego game. If they did talk about, a remaster, if they remastered Lego Lord of the Rings, yep, I'd buy that too. Any of those sound good to me, but a game where you just stealth around as Gollum in the shadow, no, that's awful.
Nobody wants to be Gollum.
I don't. I think a lot of people do. I mean, it gets
I
traction.
definitely
Well,
Like their YouTube trailers
A
and
lot of
stuff, they
people
get
lying.
views. They get views.
it's 'cause
but I
people
don't.
are just looking for, Lord of the Rings. They accidentally clicked on that. They didn't know
Imagine
what it
launching,
was.
like, we have this gigantic Amazon series. They're doing this whole thing, and the Lord of the Rings game we have is Gollum. Why isn't the Lord of the Rings game with the new series?
Yeah.
give me Shadow of Mordor
Look,
set
man.
in that time.
Just like Warner Brothers cannot figure out what the hell to do with DC, they don't know what to do with video games. They don't know what they're doing.
They've definitely, I think, screwed the pooch with, like, I honestly,
Everything.
I understand the Star
Everything.
Wars, like, ire, but there are quite a few good Star Wars games that they've gotten. Not so much on
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings side, like since like 2014. Not so much on the Lord of the Rings side, and that's a shame because I think Lord of the there is really no reason that there isn't like a gigantically popular like Age of Empires Lord of the Rings game on PC, right? There's no reason
There's a
that
reason.
doesn't exist.
There's a reason. Warner Brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Multiverses is easily
Great game.
Warner Bros. Biggest Steam release to date by active users playing, past Apex on launch night, by the way. So more people are playing that than Apex. This is the highest WB peak, surpassing Skywalker Saga, Back for Blood, Shadow of Mordor, Mortal Kombat 11, and Arkham Knight. So more people are playing this
It's so
than
fun.
anything. This
Makes
has
sense. It
entered
appeals
my
to everybody.
household. My son is such a mark for video game marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is perfect for him.
He
For
started
kids,
playing
everybody.
Uncharted because we watched the movie, which you would have died earlier today. Quick tangent. Jack's playing Uncharted 1. He keeps falling off and dying. I keep hearing him with his big sighs, his big breaths. He's always just, he gets off. He comes over to me. He's like, I don't get it, Dad. He's like, Uncharted has these big pieces of the game where you don't do anything and it's totally boring. And then they send like 100
Like the
people
movie.
for you to kill. And then you do it all over again. And that's the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Welcome to
him
life,
100%.
I don't.
That's
But yeah.
exactly why. No.
We got Xbox updates. They are putting more badges on the OS. They'll be able to tell you if this game is a game that you own a disc for, if it's on Game Pass, on EA Play, all the things. I didn't think this was a very worthy like update, but I was apparently in the minority. Several folks in the Discord thought that this was a great thing. I don't want a bunch of badges and icons. I kind of wish, I don't know, I haven't looked into it. It'd be nice if you maybe had the ability to turn it off. You didn't want it. But Elaine and Nathan both were like, we have tons of CDs and tons of physical games, and this is an issue. So that's cool. Yeah,
I'm just thinking badges.
They cut the boot time in half. They had more financials that came out. Microsoft has sold more series consoles since launch than any previous generation of Xbox at this point in the cycle. Nadella also claims Xbox was the top hardware among next-gen consoles in North America for 3 straight quarters now. That's
what does top hardware mean? What does that mean exactly?
Most units sold hardware for next gen. So it would be not Switch. It's basically they're saying they sold more series consoles than PS5s for 3 quarters in a row, which is nice.
3 quarters?
Here's the thing. I wonder if that's about to change because I've been seeing PS5s available all week long, everywhere. Have you guys?
I've been
paying any attention.
Yeah, they're like up on Target. They're on Best Buy. They're open all day long. Like we've got Wario. Like they're still available. Like you still get one if you want one. Like so, they seem to be coming back into stock. Pretty healthy.
I can't remember the last time I looked to see if the PS5 was in stock.
Same. Overall, though, the revenue for Xbox is down. I think it was 11%. I don't remember. Which is everybody should be down for the next year or two because gaming was on such a boom during COVID. It's got to come back down to normal. So a lot of the headlines were like Xbox lost money. It was Xbox's second most profitable quarter ever. It just wasn't the first one, which was the last one. So yeah, they're doing fine. Okay, buy or sell. Jeff Grubb says that there's a sequel to Immortals Phoenix Rising coming, but it's not a proper sequel. It's more of a spin-off. The production name is called Oxygen. You can again be a guy or a girl, and it's based off Hawaiian Polynesian culture. It's kind of like a Moana type thing, and that they wanted to be visually stylized but different than Breath of the Wild. They didn't like that it was so one-to-one with Breath of the Wild, so they're looking to get away from that a bit. He did say, I don't have this in the notes, but I can because I asked about this. He did say that the God narrator is expected to be back. That's that's my least favorite thing about I love the game except for that.
I didn't like that.
I asked him, I was like, do you know or can you find out if like maybe we can turn it off or if there's maybe a change in direction? And he said, he told me that he did not know. He'd look into it. He said, but he thinks based off some of the feedback that they've gotten that maybe it'll be toned back. Maybe it just won't be as frequent. Yeah, which would be an improvement for me. It was way too cheesy for me. Like I honestly wouldn't have minded as much if it was as funny as they thought they were. Like they really thought that game was really funny, and I just didn't think it was at all. It's like this is really. I would have rather turned it off. And
I didn't play it long enough for it to bother me, I guess.
I really like the game. I want to go back and replay it actually, because I moved off of it because of the God stuff. But I would like to go back and play it. In the more popular stuff that I absolutely think Delvin wants to talk about, Jeff Grubb has also said that apparently a Black Panther game is in development titled Project Rainier. It's being developed by a new studio headlined by ex-Monolith VP Kevin Stevens. Here's the thing. It's being published by EA. I have not been able to confirm this is an EA studio. This looks like a new third-party, second-party studio that's working with EA. So EA is probably funding the deal, but they don't own the studio. This is interesting. It's an open-world single-player action game. I mean, if it's ex-Monolith, you got to think Shadows of Mordor type stuff. I think it sounds great.
Yes.
I'm totally here for a Black Panther game.
Don't mess this up.
I don't want a bunch of superhero games, but I absolutely do want a Black Panther game because I think I think I told you that when I saw the movie. If I can go back to what was the thing that we did? We had to watch all the movies. Do we have a name for that?
Oh, it's about what do we call that?
It was some kind of challenge.
Make Dev switch.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Make Dev switch. Yeah.
So Dev betted me. New listeners, Dev betted me a long time ago that I watched all the Marvel movies before Endgame came out. I had to watch. I don't know. It was like 30 movies in like 2 months or whatever. He would buy a Switch, and which he did. And at the time, Black Panther was my favorite that I watched, and a lot of it was just because of the setting. The setting is fucking cool. Like Wakanda is just cool.
Wakanda's amazing.
And it's a video game. Like it 100% is a video game. It needs to be a video game. So I'm way more excited about that than a lot of other superhero games.
I've said this on this podcast before. The best part of the Avengers game is the Wakanda section. Playing as Black Panther was fucking awesome. That was like, this is really cool.
The problem is that it's in the Avengers, and I don't.
I was so done with that game that I never even downloaded the Wakanda portion.
I didn't get through the
really
demo.
Enjoyed the single player.
You remember? I didn't get through the demo. I was like, why does Thor talk like that? Why is Iron Man fly like this? What is happening?
but yeah, just going through Wakanda as Black Panther in that game was awesome. It was great. It felt like a whole different part of the game. It didn't even feel like the same game. I'm like, this is cool.
Know.
But if I can get a full single player game of that, I'm excited. I can't wait. The movie's coming out. I'm excited for the movie. Get a game. I'm high on the hog, baby.
Okay. Because I'm not the comic person, I've never rewatched the movies or anything. What is their mode of travel in Wakanda? Do they have cars or something?
They have spaceships.
Spaceships. I'm not talking like global travel around the world. I'm talking like, let's say the game is set in Wakanda. Like, are you running or like, can you get in a car?
You'll be if you're playing as Black Panther, you're gonna be running because Black Panther runs really fast.
Just like Shadow of Mordor. You just be running around the whole time.
Yeah, but normal people in Wakanda, they have like train systems and things like that. They also have spaceships and other things.
Yeah, it's that
they've got an eco-friendly travel system.
I was gonna say it's that sci-fi, but it's not even sci-fi. It's just that whole like, it's that meeting of those worlds, right? Like this primitive world meets like this super advanced technological stuff. That's cool. Like I want to see what all that could be. Like what gadgets
We're living in one with nature and still able to get around very scientifically.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
If they go by the comics route, in the comics, Wakanda basically has like a space army. So they go into space. They have a space military. They can
Space Force
missions in space and stuff. Space Force, their own Space Force, because they're trying to. They figured out the world is going to be destroyed because of pollution and stuff like that. So they started populating other planets. Like, oh, let's just make Wakanda everywhere. So they have some element of that. That'll be pretty cool as well.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm less inclined on that. Like you've soured me just a tad.
I just want to fight no more.
That's a little too close to like Horizon for me, I guess. It's like, I don't need all that.
Atlantis and call it a day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could do some hunting. Like we could do some hunting and stuff too. Like yeah, but mainly I just want to kick ass.
They're vegetarians. They're not hunting.
Yeah, I just want to kick ass.
That's wrong.
Maybe the animals attack you.
Nah, you're friends with the animals. You're one with nature.
Yeah, I just want to.
What you're going to be hunting is Atlantans. That's who you're going to hunt.
Okay.
You think you're going to be fighting Namor in this game?
Why not?
Nah, it's going to be Claw and people like that.
No, God, no, please.
It's 100% going to be Claw.
No.
Because Namor's a good guy. They're not going to make Namor
He's not really a good guy. He's like I hate everybody guy.
He's
an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And then Wakanda and Atlantis has always been at war. Fuck Claw. That's boring.
It's going to be Claw. Somebody like Claw.
Oh,
maybe Killmonger. I can see it being Killmonger.
Killmonger, yeah. That's what I was thinking. And that'd be my guess.
That I can see it happen.
Yeah.
Killmonger.
Can I play as Killmonger instead then? Just cause?
No. You have to.
What if it was an Infamous like game where you could have like some sort of morality meter?
That would be cool.
That would be dope.
Murdering everyone.
That'd be great. But it wouldn't be a super, I don't think. Would Marvel greenlight that?
No.
I don't know.
Not at all.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, it would have to be, it wouldn't be Black Panther because he is like a good guy. It'd have to be somebody who's like in the middle.
Right, and this is not that. This is Black Panther.
It would have to be Killmonger. It'd have to be Punisher. It'd have to be Namor. Like it'd have to be something where you're not really a good guy.
Why didn't Ubisoft do Punisher instead? Do that instead of Avatar.
Ubisoft is stupid. That's why.
Okay. Rude Days 93 did send in his odds makers. Let's see here. We're an hour 30. We do have some questions, so let's do one of them.
Okay.
We'll save 2 more for next week. And he can send us more. And look, this is Rude Day's segment, but if you guys out there like the odds maker segment and you want to throw your own in there, feel free. You can add them to us. We've added odds makers as a permanent part of the list, so you can. This is floating around in the ether today. So odds: Sony buys Square Enix by the end of the year.
No.
65%.
65%. That is so
65.
much. I would say 15%.
I think it's possible.
15%.
I think
Possible. 65% isn't possible.
possible.
65%
That's
is likely.
guarantee. Yeah,
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen.
By the end
I
of the
think
year.
it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna be the end of the year. I
By the
think
end
it'll
of the year.
happen
You
know
first
what?
quarter
Yeah, correction.
next year.
Because it's the end of the year, yeah.
If we're talking end of the fiscal year, yes.
Yeah,
That's
Fiscal
what I was
year,
thinking
I'd give you
originally.
75%, but the end of
75, y'all
2022,
are-
nah.
I wasn't thinking
Fiscal year.
not end of this year, but end of fiscal year. I was thinking more of.
I wasn't at all. I wouldn't go with 50 over any time frame. I mean, I think it's a 50-50. Like mergers and
the writing's on
acquisitions
the
take a
wall.
lot. I agree with you. And
It kinda is.
there's definitely some groundwork that's been laid, but these deals take time. But yeah, I would say 15% by the end of this year. If you're saying by the end of the fiscal year, so like by March, I would raise it to maybe like 30.
That's fair.
Yeah. Did we just lose Donnie? I think we just lost Donnie.
I think he did. He froze up.
He's frozen.
That's a perfect way for him to look.
I know, right?
Staring at
Oh
us.
my God. Somebody clip that, please.
Confusing. Just the
Confused
confusion
Donnie.
of what's going on.
It's great.
Oh man.
Audio listeners, you missed a treat there. That was funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
who knows if he's coming back? That could have been his computer dying. It could have been the internet. It could be the beginning of World War III, and Georgia's just been bombed and is no longer on the map. Who knows? But the show must go on.
Well, yeah, we'll miss Georgia.
Yeah.
Not really.
So,
We'll miss Donnie.
yeah, we won't miss Georgia. Donnie, yes. Georgia, not so much.
Georgia. Yeah. Look, I'll say this about Florida. Like, hey, sometimes you got to take the collateral damage. Like, if Florida gets bombed and I'm out of here, hey, y'all just pour one out for your boy and like, oh, maybe Florida decides.
Yeah.
we got another Disney, so we good. You got
Yeah,
Disney
that's true.
and Cali,
True.
so
Yeah.
do
We'll
what
be
you got to
good.
do.
We'll be straight. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll make it through. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
But
Just keep my podcast feed going. That's all I got to ask.
oh yeah, we'll let that go on in perpetuity. It'll never go away. In fact, you know what? Me and Jermaine may just record new episodes for you. Who knows?
There you go. Don't change nothing about it. Use the same name, same intro.
Everything. All right, well, let's get into some questions.
All right,
Haley, I'm gonna ask your question now since I forgot it the last 2 weeks. I apologize. I'm a terrible individual. She wants to know what should she play on Game Pass and how awesome is Forza Hot Wheels?
I haven't played for Hot Wheels. What was the game that we were talking about earlier? That's on Game Pass from
The
for
F1
Dusk
game?
Falls.
Oh yeah, Dusk Falls as Dusk Falls.
Play that one. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna play that
Yeah.
one. I should have played that one instead of Stray. Not gonna lie. Probably should have played that one first.
It looks pretty cool. I have no idea what's
looks
on
cool.
Game Pass, so I ain't got no answers for you. I don't care. Play something else. Play something not on Game Pass. Game Pass.
Play someone on PlayStation Plus Premium, whatever they call it. Mega.
Yeah, do that.
Ultra
Do
Drive.
that. Who knows, man? Stupid Sony. Get your lives together.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, as Dusk Fall. Play that. That looks cool.
There you go. There you go. And apparently the Hot Wheels game is great. People are really enjoying it. I've seen screenshots and things. Oh, we disappeared for a minute there.
Well, I thought
We're
Donnie
back.
would come back, but no, I guess not.
I thought that was Donnie coming back as well, but
I did too.
we
Guess
shall
not.
continue. Oh, wait. Hook is mid.
What is
It's
that?
Donnie.
My computer did that same thing it did before. Dev, the entire thing froze. Like I think it's my Razer stuff. Like it froze. Like even the spectrum on the keyboard and everything froze. Like everything just completely freezes. I can't move or control, delete, or get out of. I can't do anything. Like I have to hard shut down. And this doesn't happen frequently. It only happens. I think it's only happened when we've done these calls. But I don't know, man.
Could be a bad hard drive. Because that's what was happening to my system, where it would just hard freeze up. I couldn't do anything. I'd have to hard shut it down and reboot.
But wouldn't it?
Hard drive.
But during the call, like, wouldn't that happen if I was working or doing editing or anything else?
It was just super random. Like it would happen.
Only happens during this call. This is the third time.
That was when it was only happening for me. Remember all those times like it would just keep messing up? It was only happening during the calls, and then it started happening just more often.
I'll keep an eye on it if it starts happening more often. But I might take my Razer stuff out and plug in new keyboard and see what happens. I also have like a gigantic USB connector that has like 15 things plugged into it under my desk. I'm wondering maybe I just simplify and see what happens.
I have one of those too, but that should not cause the machine to completely freeze up like that.
It's definitely strange. So I apologize for that. But yeah, my local shot. So
it's okay. We killed Georgia while you were gone and also destroyed Florida.
Yeah.
In your absence.
Yeah, I volunteered Florida to be destroyed.
Like, World War III.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We figured Dev was like, well, Donnie's probably dead now. Like,
I mean, based on where the world is going, I'm sitting pretty high. Like in 10 years, I may have like oceanfront property, right? Like I'm sitting here like kind of on the shelf in Georgia. Like Delvin's gonna have to come live with me.
Yeah, we just assumed World War III happened.
Cabinets.
Florida and Georgia gone. Just gone.
Makes sense.
I said, hey,
yeah, I could live without.
I gotta go. Just
yeah.
we got another Disney World. I said we'll be okay. California has Disney, so we'll be all right.
I mean, if I had the means, like if I hit the lottery, the first thing I would do would move. Like my entire family would hate it, and I would absolutely move them regardless. I'd be like, all right,
play Mega Millions.
I'd be telling my wife, I'd be telling my daughter, I'm like, you cry all the way to the private plane, but you're getting your ass on that plane. You're getting the hell out of here.
All right, well, we're going to keep on going with the questions. TPR says, so I tried booting up Gears 1 for the first time. I'm sorry. Brand new to the franchise, and the PC port of Ultimate Edition genuinely sucks. Dude. That's why I'm saying I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have a 3070 and a 1440p. This 2015 game jumps all around from 35 to 144 frames frequently. People on forums report the same thing. Routinely hovering at 30 to 40 FPS from bad optimization. I'll play through it, but it's a huge bummer. Dev and Donnie, what video game PC ports do you personally wish ran better? Gears of War. I wish Gears of War ran better because I tried to play that because I really wanted to try to get into that franchise.
I played Gears 5
really
on
hard
PC,
for
and
me.
It was great.
Gears 5, but this is the original. This is Gears 1. And for me, it's hard to jump into a franchise like at Game 5. I actually was really intrigued by the story of Gears, so I wanted to play the first one, but it just ran like absolute garbage. So I was like, I can't play this.
Gears 1 is
I guess
so
you
good.
need an Xbox.
I love Gears 1 story.
That's not gonna happen. Xbox. Never. Sold. But
yeah, I've
Donnie,
never
just get Game Pass.
I never attempted to play Gears on Gears Ultimate Edition on PC.
That was a good decision. Gears 4 runs amazing on PC. So does Gears 5.
When the Phoenix collection has been often rumored, when it was rumored to be a thing, I was very excited about it because I think Gears multiplayer deserves better on PC, but also I think all those games should be remastered. I've said it for a long time. I'm going to continue to say it.
I agree.
Because I think I had the market cornered. Like Gears, his Xbox is like Uncharted. Like it is their version of that kind of game. The difference is, instead of like climbing and grappling, you're doing shooting and cover shooting. But in terms of like a story and a narrative that spans so many different games, people really do care about. It is absolute Gears. It is not Halo.
Yeah,
I know there are people that care about Halo.
Xbox,
but and it's not just. I'm not just saying
Always.
just the story. I'm not saying the story is better than one or the other. It's just kind of like the design, right? Do some gameplay, cutscene, rinse, wash, repeat. It's very much like a similar kind of design making a game.
I'll say it. Gear Story is better.
Oh, it's 1,000
It's
times better.
100%
Dude,
better.
I'll say it. The
Way
Coalition's
better.
better. I've been saying the Coalition
Yeah,
after
way
Halo
better.
Infinite, Xbox, Phil Spencer should go to 343 and take half of their budget and give it to the Coalition. Just you all work for the Coalition now. Like this is I don't know, like we just give Halo everything it could ever want while it, like I won't call it mid. Halo Infinite was good, but it's not Gears 5 good. Not
What
Gears 4
sold more?
good.
What sold more?
I don't know.
I would
It's hard.
guess Halo.
Honestly, it's hard to tell with Game Pass. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't care who sold well. Which one's better?
Gears
Doesn't
is way
matter.
better.
That's what makes more money.
Hive Busters was better than Halo Infinite. Just the DLC.
I agree. Halo Infinite.
The expansion was better. It wasn't trash. Halo Infinite's pretty good.
No. It's trash. It's hot trash.
No, it wasn't
hot
trash.
garbage.
It's okay.
I don't like Halo.
It's
all.
just
It's
not.
okay.
I hate their
It's
gameplay.
not. I just didn't think
But
it was.
you like this show,
It was okay.
I did like the show because it's
Yeah, you
sci-fi
did.
bullshit. That's
which is
why.
weird.
You did.
I love the sci-fi
Um,
bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I forget. I don't even have notes up. What was the original question?
The question
start
is
playing
like
my
what
Gears.
PC ports?
'Cause I bought a
what
shit ton
video
of
game
Gears
PC
stuff.
ports?
Dev knows. Delvin,
You buy
don't know.
all the gear stuff.
They haven't got here yet. I bought other Gears.
Save it!
stuff. I bought
Save
other
it!
stuff. But yeah, I got these Gears.
Save it!
figures. I got some stuff going on. The biggest PC game that I attempted to play on PC that was a train wreck for me that I didn't like was Madden. Madden on PC absolutely sucked. It was
That's surprising.
last gen
That's
version
trash.
of Madden. My controller never fucking worked. When I got to the controller screen, I'm 100%. When I got to the controller screen, right, they put the two teams next to each other, right? You know what I'm talking about? Controllers in the middle,
Mhm.
teams on left and right.
Yes.
When I clicked my controller to the side, my controller, still connected, would just stop working. I could never advance the screen. What I had to do is I had to pick my team with my mouse and keyboard. And then once the game started, go into settings and go to that same menu and then pick controller. And then it would switch to controllers and then I could actually control the game. It was hot trash.
That sounds
I was like,
terrible.
I don't understand how anybody's ever played. Like EA was, you remember, they're like, we're coming back to PC, y'all. We're putting our games on Steam. And it's like, not like this. This sucks. This isn't good at all.
Interesting.
And it's
I
a
didn't
bummer.
have any problems with Madden, but every single game in Game Pass ran like absolute trash for me. I really
I
wanted
haven't
to
had
play. Oh God, what is that game
I've
that
had
you
some
absolutely
Game
love?
Pass game. Hellblade. You always say this
Lady
about Hellblade.
Hellblade. Thank you. I wanted to play Hellblade. Could I get that game to run to save my life?
I can't
you
imagine
can't
that
change.
being a thing.
You can't change the resolution in the game. Like none of
What?
the settings change anything. They just don't change anything. It was all over the forums. Like the Game Pass version of the game just doesn't work.
And they
You
just
can't
never
change.
fixed it.
They never fixed it.
Oh, come
So
on.
that ran like trash.
I don't believe that.
I wanted to play Dishonored 2. That ran like trash. Couldn't mess with the settings to get them to work right. Like it would always just run like ass. I have had terrible luck with Game Pass, and I just don't have the patience to sit there and try to mess with INI files or do any of that other stuff to try to get it to work right. So, fuck you, Game Pass.
Holy shit, you were 100% correct. How do you change? How do you change the resolution? Is this for Hellblade? Oh, hang on, no, this isn't for Hellblade. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a thing. It worked. All the Steam stuff, great. Game Pass version of it just doesn't make any difference. It's pain.
I'm gonna download this to test this because you've been saying this, and I can't imagine that's the case.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Enjoy. Because you'll change the settings. It'll show that it's changed, but it still runs in the same whatever old resolution, and the frames are at like 30.
Oh, the only way to change the resolution is to change the resolution on your desktop. You can't do it in game.
I do it in on the desktop, and it still doesn't work.
So there's YouTube videos showing exactly how to do that. And apparently this is a thing. They say it was a thing for State of Decay and Metro Exodus as well. This might be an NVIDIA thing,
Fuck you.
not
Game Pass.
a Game Pass thing.
It's a Game Pass thing. Sticking to
Wow.
it.
Wow. Look at the propaganda. Now he sounds like fake news over here.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with it. I'm
Being
a habitual line
presented with
crosser. We've
Factual
established this.
cross-examination, and he's like, nah, son. Those
No.
election
It's all
machines
trash.
were rigged.
Game Pass on PC, rigged. It's trash.
Telling you, the satellite got him.
Garbage. Garbage, son.
Oh man, I probably should be laughing
I'm
at
still
that.
a piece of garbage.
Yes, you are. You are.
It's trash. It's trash.
You are trash. Like
No.
You
PC.
are.
PC Game
Me-
Pass.
me
PC
got it.
Game Pass.
Okay.
PC Game Pass.
Uh-huh.
That Ninja Dev.
Sure.
Moving along. Drew wants to know what's the next game most likely to be delayed until 2023.
That's a great question.
Is there any
What's
game
coming
that's coming out that
Oh,
that
there's
looks
a
like
bunch.
you be delayed?
Trying to think.
Sonic Frontiers.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good
That's
one.
a really
That's a
good
good
one.
answer. I think you may have won this round.
Yeah,
I don't
You know
think God
what?
of War will get delayed.
I'm gonna throw a wild card out next. I think it should be delayed. Arkham Knights,
Oh, Arkham.
Yes.
delay it.
Well, here's the thing. Why would
Cancel
delay it? What are you going to do with delaying it?
I don't know.
You're not gonna
inevitable.
They're not going to remake it, so why delay it? You might as well get it out of the way. Like, just you got to get
Postpone
over.
the inevitable for us to say this game
Hogwarts.
is mid.
That's a good answer.
Cancel it.
Is that,
Hogwarts.
That was a release date?
Hogwarts, yeah.
I don't know.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion.
That's supposed to
Supposed to
come
be
out this year?
Does that have a
this
release date?
year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that-
it doesn't have a release
Oh,
date,
that's
but it's
definitely
like
not coming out this year.
this year.
definitely getting delayed.
That ain't
Callisto
definitely coming out this
Protocol.
year.
Scorn.
Maybe. Callisto, maybe. When
It's
is
like
the-
December something, so it could very easily be.
And yeah,
rolled
they
over
want it, but
2023.
they probably want to try to get it out in front of Dead Space. But if they can't,
Dead
then they
Space.
can't, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Sonic Frontiers is probably. I mean, we don't even have a date for it, right?
I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
I think that's probably
Yep.
the best guess.
That's
that
a good-
like-
yeah, that's a real good guess.
Last of Us is not going to get moved. Midnight
It went
Suns?
gold.
Midnight Suns? Midnight Suns?
Who?
Marvel's Midnight Suns? Wow. Look at
That's
this.
appropriate. Sonic Frontier just says fourth quarter 2022.
Right. That's
That
all
means
they've
it's
ever
not
said.
gonna ship, huh?
They've never not said anything else. I'm looking at release calendar now just to see if I can. I don't even know if this is even a good calendar.
Everything's been delayed.
The Skull and Bones already delayed?
No, I don't think so.
Because I mean, they could definitely delay that again.
Cancel it.
Oh,
Yeah, you know me. I'm with you there. Yeah, I don't think anything. Like, I think a Plague Tale will make it. A lot of these reports, I think all the Nintendo games will make it. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers are the best guess. That's a good one.
yeah, I agree.
Next question.
Yeah, I win.
You did it.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
Stingray X wants to know your favorite bromance in gaming.
That Ninja Dev and Donnie Reese.
That's a good
When
one.
I sit here and watch every week. That's the one. Like the goddamn Golden Girls. Dorothy and Sophia.
I will shout out Mr. Josh Bones and Kyle over at Board of Video Games. They're a great tandem.
That's a good one.
They make a great show.
I think the question was referring to video game characters, though. However,
Well, y'all are video game characters.
Oh yeah, honestly didn't even think about it that way. It's a good. I don't.
that was my guess. I don't know
that
if
makes
that's the
sense.
case.
But yeah, when you read it, I wasn't even thinking there. Probably because Delvin said that.
You jumped the gun.
Peyton Sully.
I always. That's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That's a really good one. Dom
Nadine
Marcus,
and Chloe.
I liked a lot.
I don't care if they're not bros.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is that a bromance?
Y'all guys.
I enjoyed them very much. That's my favorite Uncharted game.
Ugh.
Diamond Marcus Phoenix. I like them a lot together.
I like them
that's a true
together, but
bromance.
they're not like funny like bromance, you know.
They're more like two guys who in the battlefield, like once you see Dom brings Marcus the little bag, like, hey, time to go to work. And Gears 1, like, all right, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
You know what's a
Ken
funny
and
one?
Ryu.
That's a really good one. That's a good one. I was gonna say Lee and Kenny from Walking Dead.
You're always gonna say walking. You find a way to fit
Yeah.
this in everything.
Who's
I
the
played an
new
entire like Telltale Walking Dead game where they were arguing. Like there's an entire chapter where they don't like each other.
It depends on how you play it. But there are moments where there are genuinely funny moments between those two where
No.
that makes it awesome.
No.
I feel like my Nate and Sully one is still best answer so far.
Yeah, that is the true definition of a bromance.
You guys haven't
Nate
like
and Sully.
beat my answer yet, in my mind.
Oh, so now we're trying to win. It's become a game now.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not
Of
keeping
course it has.
score. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't
I
even think of any
My
other,
original
like-
answer was the best answer, to be clear.
Donnie and Dev. 3D.
Yes, that is the best answer.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good. Makes you
yeah,
Spike Dudley. I like the NWO one.
I don't even know how to respond.
The NWO one
I
fits.
don't even know how to respond to that.
The Shield doesn't fit as
Yeah.
much, and then the Dudley Boys is really funny. Like it's the Dudley Boys
Yeah.
might fit the most,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but you have to assume the role of Spike Dudley, which
Yeah.
I mean, is not
That's
true.
disappointing. I think the Shield
Yeah.
fits.
Yeah,
What's the
It
shield?
fits.
Who's the shield? Who's in that?
it's
Roman Reigns,
that's you,
who's Dev. Donnie is Seth Rollins,
100.
and I'm the wild card Dean Ambrose. or John
marking out
Moxley.
for a bunch of Mark fans at a company that's 100%.
Yeah.
Beloved on this indie scene. Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Robbie says you have to make a fighting game together. You
Not
each
as
get
good
to
as
pick 4 fighters
Hogan and Nash.
for your launch day roster from any game. Who do you pick, and what kind of game are you making?
This is a
I'm
really
making a
fun
PSVG
fight.
fighting game.
I know it's video game characters, not us.
Delvin's
Us
like,
is a
I'm
video
done
game
with this
fighting
video games. I want some real life shit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Right, here's the deal.
Let's make us fight
Before
each
we
other.
pick characters, because I know we're gonna get crazy with this. Before we pick characters,
Okay.
because I know Delvin's gonna say like all the Life is Strange people plus Sony people. Not Life is Strange, The Walking Dead. All the Walking is gonna have Clementine and Lee and and
Clementine
Joel.
have little arms, so that's not
All
gonna
right,
work.
then Lee's gonna have an alt character where it's just
Right.
one hand.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to make a 2D fighter. The world has enough of those. The shit is just oversaturated with Brawlhalla. Fucking LeBron James is one. Every
Bro.
Nintendo character is in
Bro,
one.
we're making
Bron
Def
James
Jam
is in the
Vendetta.
versus. Multiverses.
I want to make a Soul Calibur, like a modern day
Okay.
Soul Calibur type game.
So we're going Soul Calibur
I want to
style.
make
Okay,
Def
that's-
Jam.
I don't want to make Def Jam. Why do you give it?
We gotta pick one style.
Yeah, we're not gonna put other characters in Def Jam. Like that's just Def Jam's.
No, just that type of game, that fighting style of game.
we don't have like
Soul Calibur only fits a certain aesthetic of characters to me personally.
I don't like Soul Calibur.
I think Soul Calibur fits like any video game character.
I don't know if I would
Maybe not
agree
like a
with that. I feel
cartoony
like Mortal
character, but
Kombat
I mean,
does.
here was my other stipulation I wanted to try and throw out. I'm trying to squeeze in some rules here in politicking. No Nintendo characters. There's 80
I wouldn't
damn
give it-
I'm fine with that.
I wouldn't give it that anyway.
Yeah,
They're out.
definitely. That was not
They're
in
out.
my mindset at all.
They're
There was not
done.
going to be a single Nintendo character.
Not in the least.
Done, son. So we're making a Soul Calibur game. We get 4 picks
This
each.
motherfucker.
No Nintendo characters.
Okay.
I won't go
All the-
first. I
so-
made my claim, so I'll go
Question.
last.
what are the requirements? Does it just have to be a video game character, just not a Nintendo character? Do they have to be specifically video games? Or they be a character that has been in video games?
No, we're not making Marvel the fighting game. It's video
No, I
game.
want to go see. I want to pick a Marvel character. That's what I'm
Okay.
asking.
All right. If it's a video game
I was
character,
going to pick
then
a
I'll-
character. Okay, so you go first.
No. I
I'll
made
go
all the
first.
stipulations. So
My first character, Mr. X from Resident Evil.
I like it. That's pretty
I
cool.
like it. I like it.
That's pretty damn
Delvin?
cool.
Pick a fucking character.
He got a Resident Evil character, so I don't want to go Resident Evil style.
You can. We got 4.
I will pick. You know what? Screw it. Max Payne.
Nice.
Hmm.
You guys are
Max
already
Payne.
see. This is
I
why I
like
wanted to go Soul Calibur, because you guys start saying these characters and I envision them like a modern Soul Calibur, like 3D. Like this is a fucking fighter game worth doing. Travis Touchdown, obviously going to always be number 1
Okay.
draft pick, but totally
Okay,
fits.
okay.
I like this.
We're doing this like snake draft, so you go again.
Ooh, I wasn't ready.
Wish I had the Jeopardy music to go. No.
Yeah, that would make me not think as much. Yeah, I wasn't ready. I thought I was gonna have 2 more picks to think.
Ah, see, yeah.
Oh,
Flipped it
you're
on
killing
you.
me.
Flipped it on
I
you.
can go. I can go now.
Nope. This is a snake draft. We're doing this the way I said it. I'm in charge.
Juliet Starling. Keep No More Heroes theme song.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Now it's on you, Delvin. Pick a character.
I'm gonna go. Since Sean Capri said it, I'll just say Lee from Walking Dead, because Sean Capri said it.
That is
Just
worse.
you
Dude.
had to-
Alternate.
He also said
skin,
Marcus
deadly.
Phoenix. You could say that.
You could have did
I wasn't
that,
gonna say that
like,
No, I'm gonna do Lee from Walking Dead. He's suspected for me.
You suck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Laura Croft from the original Tomb Raider.
Good
Not
one.
the remakes.
Oh,
The original Tomb Raider.
okay.
And then
That means
I
you
go again because it's snake draft. And we are going to go with, let's see here. Damn, has Chucky been in any video games? Probably not, huh?
No.
That'd have been cool.
That's what I was asking earlier.
No.
Can I use a? See,
We
that's the
already
thing.
said no. That's why.
We're talking legit
But you,
video game character. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the essence of
Yeah.
the word. You know what I mean? I cannot believe that Lee is one of the God. We had
Yep.
such a cool game going.
still do.
you had to go and fucking.
No,
up,
we
didn't he?
don't. He went and ruined
We've
it.
been sullied down by
No.
Walking Dead.
No,
Oh, what's
we
the chick's name from the game that I said didn't play well? From Hellblade.
Senua.
Senua.
That was gonna
Senua.
be-
That's
damn
my
it,
next
that was
pick.
gonna be my
Okay.
answer. Now I need to find another one.
Delvin, it's on
All
you.
right, let's see. I'm gonna go Aloy.
Okay.
I think Aloy would be
Okay.
really cool in a video game.
Totally fits. What how many picks have we made? Is this my second pick, third pick?
This is going
This
to be
should be
your
your
third
third
and
pick.
fourth pick.
I remember which ones we've done already. I'm gonna go with Snake.
Which one?
I was gonna pick Snake.
Who cares? Pick one solid Snake.
Well, it has to be
Solid
was in
Snake,
Smash
Naked
Brothers,
Snake.
so I'll say Venom Snake.
Oh, he
Because
is in
Snake
Smash.
was in
Nope.
Smash, so
Nope.
let's-
Disregard.
No,
he's
no
in
smash.
Fuck
No
it.
smash.
He's out. BJ Blazkowicz.
That's a good.
pick.
That's a great choice.
That's a good pick. All right, go again. Last pick.
Oh, I gotta go again.
Snake draft, baby.
Yeah.
I definitely would love to put somebody from Gears in. But I love that
What's
what
about
we're
Gears
doing isn't like first party, like outside of Aloy. So I kind of want to stay away from that. I will say, you know what? I want to pick a female character just for diversity's sake. So I will say Blaze Fielding.
Ooh, I like it. All right. Delvin.
Colt.
Okay.
Who?
Deathloop.
Colt.
Oh, okay. Ooh, and for the final pick, let's see, who do we want to go with?
Duke Nukem. He was on my
No, fuck
list.
him.
I was thinking.
Oh, you know what? No, he was in Smash. Never mind.
Smash. Fuck, you're out. What about
Ready?
what about a Far
Nope.
Cry character? Joseph
Nah.
Seed.
Nah.
That'd be interesting.
Was
We should-
Ezio in Smash?
You should pick a villain though.
I don't think
Ezio?
Ezio was in Smash.
Ezio's a great pick.
Was he in Smash? He wasn't in
That's
Smash,
what-
was he?
No, but he has,
He
a,
was in
Ezio's
Soul
my
Calibur,
final
I
pick.
think.
he has a costume in Smash.
Does
I
that
think
count?
Ezio
Or-
was in Soul
the-
Calibur.
this was your stipulation, so
No, there's an Ezio Mii fighter.
so I can't pick Ezio.
I wouldn't. That sucks though,
I,
'cause that's a
I
really
wouldn't
good
pick
pick.
because I think he was in Soul Calibur. I want to say.
So
Yeah, we're making
the stipulation
If we're
wasn't
making
no
a
Soul Calibur
game,
games.
you're gonna put the same characters in the game.
It's a Soul Calibur game. Why not?
I guess.
But Ezio has been 86th. That's fine. It's fine. Damn, I was gonna say Mother Brain, but she's a Nintendo, so no, can't do
Yes,
that.
Mother Bird's a
Cool
Nintendo
game.
character.
You have The
Mm.
Witcher, Geralt. You have
Oh,
somebody from
pretty good.
Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk. Holy shit! Is the guy? Hang on, never mind. I got a tangent I need to get to after this.
Johnny Silverhand.
Really forgot. Johnny Silverhand fits this game. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
you
Does
did-
Johnny
you did-
Silverhand fit this game?
You didn't pick him.
Damn it!
Ooh. The Reaper from Death's Door.
That's a little cartoon character in our super
And?
awesome realistic fighting game.
Exactly. So he's in there fucking y'all up like Odd Job and Double.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the idea of a 2D Smash game full of better indie game characters than Brawlhalla has. Like if you get the Death's Door and the Hyperlight Drifter and Shovel
So-
Knight and you put them in a
So the Warner Brothers game.
no,
That's
LeBron James cartoon characters and shit. No, not that. But like a cool indie version
Shaggy.
of that would be good. Yeah, Shaggy. Get out of here with that nonsense. Okay. There is a character in As Dusk Falls that I meant to look up and I just never did, and you jogged my memory when you mentioned Cyberpunk. That I swear to you
You mentioned
is
Cyberpunk.
the As Dusk Falls guy. He starts talking. I think it's the cop, and it reminds me of V's friend. I forget his name. I gotta look it up. I wonder if they're the same character.
Shoot, I know you're talking about.
I haven't played enough of that game to remember that guy's name. Like, is it the first guy you come across?
First
Like
guy,
your first
yeah,
friend?
exactly. Jackie.
Yes.
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah.
Wells. I wonder if they're the same voice actor because they sound almost exactly the same. Jason Hightower
Maybe.
is who voice acted him. I remember
Jackie
listening
Wells
to
is
him
good,
talk,
man.
and I was like, "Man, they sound really similar."
Like the same
I like
person.
Jackie.
All right. Well, while you're looking that up, our final question comes from Delvin Jr. He wants to know what's a great game to play on a 4K TV. Well,
Did you guys hear this
I
story? I
think-
think I talked about it on PSXP. I don't think I talked about it here. He saved up the money,
I-
bought a 4K TV.
I can't find it.
Oh, you saved up your money and bought a 4K TV?
I heard the
No,
story. You
no,
told me
it's not
about
my money. He
Magazine.
bought it.
Where'd
Yeah.
he get the money
He,
from?
he saved up his money. He was
From
getting
where?
money like doing chores for his grandma and stuff like that, and saved him enough to buy like a cheap 4K TV. So now he wants things to play on it. 'Cause Lord knows I
mean-
wasn't buying him a TV. That wasn't happening. No way, no how.
Returnal, just because it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
Stray looks really pretty. Cyberpunk looks really pretty. I mean,
Not on console.
well, he's got a console.
Right.
To be
Cyberpunk
clear,
doesn't
he
look-
has.
Oh, it does.
So-
The updates, it looks great.
Okay.
To be clear, he has a Xbox Series S and he has the PS5, so people can know.
Yeah, the answer is
he
Gears
made
5.
X.
The answer is Gears 5.
No.
Gears
want
is
to-
nice.
Gears 5 and Forza Horizon 5. Those are the answers.
No.
Particularly Gears 5, play Hive Busters. Expansion add-on. That game looks incredible.
But the problem with that is it's going to be on a Series S on a 4K TV.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize
we're
the
trying to
Series S.
get we're trying to
Definitely
get
Definitely
we're trying to get 4K. So
Retracted.
your
Retracted.
your answers are
I
invalid.
didn't realize it was Series S. But he's got PS5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the Tower of Power? the Spire of
Betty.
Ire. I mean, Horizon is one of the
Horizon.
best looking games I've ever
Is
seen.
is it 120 hertz television, or are we just looking at 60? Like, where we going?
This is a low. Come on, he's a kid. He's like 16. He has no money. He bought the
Look.
low end Hisense $200 TV, $250 TV.
Hisense makes some really, really good televisions. Do not
Yes.
be fooled.
They
They
do.
make really good TVs.
It's a good TV.
HDR,
It's a good
yeah,
starter 4K TV. I think it
Horizon
does have
Forbidden
HDR.
West is stunning. Visually stunning.
Horizon. I would
Horizon's a
say
good
I would
choice.
stick with Horizon, and I would stick with Returnal, just because Returnal has so many
I like
things
that
on
other
the
thing
screen.
much,
It looks great.
but
You know, I
Horizon
want to
is-
say something that I know he hasn't played yet because I think he's playing Horizon. Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima visually is impressive. For sure.
Beautiful game.
Yeah. I just
Incredibly
finished it.
beautiful.
I'll say
It's
Valhalla.
nice.
That's another good one. He made me go find Origins because he wanted to play Origins so bad in the game. So we had to go
I
to GameStop and get that.
never played
Why didn't
Origins
just
much.
download
I
it
think
from
I
the
played Origins for
PlayStation
like
Store?
2 hours, and that's one game that I've been really meaning
I
to go
asked him
back.
that
and
exact
try.
same question. His response was, "It's the GameStop has it for $10. Like, but the gas I'm wasting to get it, you can pay just the $15 in PlayStation Store." Like,
Oh my god.
It's a shame he only has a Series S.
yeah, he doesn't need the
So I would say Ori,
That's a great game.
and it
That's a
looks
great game, too.
amazing on Series X
It's a
too.
game.
Like,
It is
I
definitely a
have
game.
and it looks incredible in 4K. Like in
Mm.
4K, Ori is stellar.
It's a game. Yeah, it's a game. Yeah, absolutely.
Way better than Returnal.
I disagree.
Thousand
Hard
times.
disagree. No,
Thousand
Doc.
times. Every
Mm-mm.
time.
Just
Every
because you're
time
not good at the
you
game
fail.
doesn't make it bad.
Good
Donnie.
at it. What? I've never even played it.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, 'cause it's not
'Cause
good.
you suck. It's great.
All
It's
right.
a great game.
Do we want to go to Fantasy Critic for the?
I don't give a fuck about Fantasy Critic.
No, you do. You play the Fantasy Critic. You vote.
I only play it because
Uh-huh.
it sounds like fun. But I don't agree with any of the Fantasy Critic ratings. They're all trash.
Well,
That's
Ori
disappointing.
in the Will of the Wisps is incredible. It's
a
amazing.
game. It's a
It's
game.
amazing.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Eh. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, well that's gonna do it for this episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast.
The bromance continues.
Please give us a
Perfect way to end it.
follow over on Twitter at PSVG, at YouTube at youtube.com/PSVG network.
Nailed it.
And
I said nailed it. I was
Yeah,
complimenting you.
he's giving you props.
I thought you said hold on, my bad.
Did
And
you
then
guys see
follow
Paul
us on
Heyman dunk all over Greg Miller?
I saw that. That was
No.
funny.
Fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then feel free to follow us on twitch.tv/PSVG. And I got nothing else, so let's go ahead and get up out of here. Please play some video games.